Let's say hello to the people that are gonna be watching this VOD on YouTube. Hello, hi.
Hi, Bot Squad.
Hi.
Hello. We are down one person. Court says she was gonna be around here in a bit. Yes, so we're just kind of chilling. And now we've already rolled. So, Bib, why don't you tell me what happened last time?
Oh no, bro. Oh.
I rolled like
it's coming back.
20 minutes ago.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's relatively
prepare.
small amount of stuff happens.
It's coming back in flashes.
Well, tell
Okay.
me, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you in a riddle.
Reverse Black Flash.
Alright, I want
No.
to see where this is going.
Let him cook. Chad, let him cook.
No, I can't do a riddle. I'm sorry. No, don't look at me. I don't have the brain for that. I just want
boy.
to be mysterious. So, we in the previous episode, we defeated these like rock monsters, and then we went down into the cavern where one of these rock like boulier or something
Yeah.
Boulette. It's a boulette. Okay, I remembered it. I pulled it out of the recesses of my mind. We vanished him to the big hole in the ground in the cave. And then we jumped down. We rested a little bit. We healed up because, ow, that hurt. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
well, it didn't hurt me. I was fine. I did good.
You're welcome. I took all that for you.
Oh my
Yeah,
lord.
Ambrose
God,
was
that was
very
pain.
bad. Yeah. And then we just kept going down the hole. And then there were like multiple sounds, multiple smells, and we smelled one smell and we're like, that smell's not it. So we followed the other smell. That smell, you had some like treasure. You had like a shield, which I was like, yeah, I'll take that. And then you had I don't know what the other thing was, but it was good. It was equipment armor. But we had to fight a nightmare black ooze, which was just all around bad time. And then we also had to fight, I didn't fight this, I think like
No, everybody did. You
Rexmoa.
crit. You gave it a big crit. You almost killed that thing in one shot.
Oh, what was it again? I can't remember. That's what I'm fuzzy on. What was the monster?
It
Not
was
the black ooze, the other thing.
it was
The tentacle things or the gelatinous cube?
the Latinus cube.
Oh,
yeah.
it was the slime cube. Oh, I like the slime cube, but he's dead. He's crispy. Yeah. Oh, and then I harvested his liquids. Yes, as one does. So I'm gonna sell that later. I'm very money hungry this round for lore implications. And
Rexmoa also, me and Rexmoa suffered a bit because Rexmoa's quarterstaff got a little damaged with the black ooze, and then my javelins got a little corroded.
yeah, I'm gonna need to cast mend a few times for you guys.
Correct.
And
Mend,
fast?
butt crack.
Mend butt crack. Testicular torsion. But yeah, we after that I can't remember too much what happened. Oh wait, no, I remember. We decided to venture into the northern parts of the cave, and Ambrose decided to walk off a little bit. Fun fact, that's not a good idea. And stalactites.
Wouldn't
or
you know?
Yeah, stalactites or stalagmites. It's one of the two. Don't ask me which one.
Actually, I have a really easy way of remembering this. Stalagmites, mites is in like mites that like crawl around, or the ones that are on the ground. Stalactites are the ones that are on the ceiling, because T's they hang downward.
Understood.
That's how I
You're
remember it.
smart. We like Dishonor. He knows things.
I know.
Dishonor knows things.
No.
I know plants and geography. Dishonor knows like everything else. He knows like,
No, I do
Everything
not know.
else.
and then
I know-
Velosaurus has like parenting skills. He doesn't even have a child. He's just good like that. And then ZJ, he makes good coffee.
Minecraft.
Yeah. My one redeeming quality.
Yeah. Quartz is a great artist, and Greenie makes sure none of us murder people. That's what Greenie does. We like that. Thank you, Greenie.
Except when she threatens to murder me, which is like every other day.
Yes.
Yeah, no, Greenie's allowed to murder people, but we're not allowed to murder people. Because Greenie can get away with it.
But yes, so you guys indeed were venturing up to the northern part of the caves. And unfortunately for Ambrose, he got found out by one of the creepy crawlies that were hanging out over there.
I fucked around, what can I say?
Yes, sir, you did. And as a matter of fact, you found out. And because of that, I'm going to need you all to roll your initiative. Please. Because we are starting with a combat. A little bit of a reminder though. You remember that you, specifically you, Rexmoa, were investigating the hole in there that was created by an earthquake. That happened a little bit ago, and you saw the levels below that hole that were lit up. Just as a little reminder, let me open the character sheet for these not so pretty boys.
The ceiling is 25 feet up, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, that's a very bad fucking roll.
Oh, that's great. We love that. Thank you.
And
I love
one
that.
is
Good.
a
Roll
not
bad.
so bad roll. Okay.
I hate that. Which one is that? Is that the one grabbing Ambrose right now?
Yes, sir.
That would be no.
I hate that. I hate you. I hate everything. Good night.
I'm pretty sure they're bad at that too.
not that bad. All right. Rexmoa, we need your initiative. Unless you rolled it and I missed it. No, you have not.
No, I have not. Here, I'm getting on that.
Whoever rolls
go.
highest needs to like
Okay.
somehow whack them tentacles.
So unfortunately, Quartz is not around yet. We'll grab her when we can at this point. I can probably play her character for a moment in terms of combat. But if she's not around, we will have to come up with a reason as to why. For now, let us start. And it is the turn of the big boy that is trying to eat you. Dishonor. And let's see. He's gonna try and bite you.
Please don't.
Wait,
I
let's
want
see.
it,
Oh, yeah, it's
I am
okay.
considered restrained, so.
You are restrained, correct, and you are lifted up 25 feet in the air. Does that is a 7 to hit, unfortunately.
That's
does not
very
hit.
silly.
That's honestly kind of lucky.
And that is
He's just excited to murder.
that is all I can do, unfortunately, because if that guy hits, it's gonna hurt. So, Rexmoa, you saw. Yeah, what's up?
I was saying, actually, Greenie is correct. That is actually fortunate for me, not unfortunate.
Correct. So, Rexmoa, you just saw your friend get snatched, even though he is in his spell being blurred. You saw your friend being snatched up onto the ceiling, and now the creatures reveal themselves up in the ceiling. What are you doing?
I'm not really. I gotta assess my options because I'm not really sure immediately what I can do because I'm also kind of running low on ki, and I feel like most things that I use aren't range. So
Oh, actually, because it missed me, I'm going to use one of my superiority dice to hit it back with a post.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
So, here is the thing. It literally just lets me, if it misses me, I can just make a reaction attack against it.
All right. Go ahead.
I don't know if I want to get close to this thing, or maybe I do.
It does still have disadvantage, unfortunately.
Correct, because you are restrained.
All right.
I
So
have
can
one.
you? So Is this monster, did it grab Ambrose and Ambrose is like close to it, or is it like
Yes.
holding on to Ambrose by like a single tentacle, or?
Well, so the monster grabbed Ambrose with its tentacle and it pulled him close to it so he can bite
Okay.
it. So it's holding
Okay.
Ambrose right now, and it's Ambrose is just next to it, pretty much.
All right.
I'm in the air.
I would like to try to. I'm gonna like throw a dagger and try to like sever its like tentacle or tongue or whatever it's gripping Ambrose with.
All right. Roll for your attack. We'll see what happens. That unfortunately misses.
Damn. All right. Well, fortunately, I get 2 attacks.
That
Random
is true.
bullshit. Go.
Let's go.
Oh my god! I just like
Oh my
This is
I
not
threw
a
2
good
daggers
start.
and they both missed. All right, I'll mark that down in my
You
my
decided
items.
you decided to go all cool. You grabbed the 2 daggers with one hand and were like throwing them at the same time. One of the daggers just bounces off the tough skin of the creature and just falls down onto the ground. The other one's just stuck to the ceiling now.
I wince a little bit and I'm like, I'm kind of out of practice.
Oh
Some good
boy.
rolls so far.
Hey, listen, get the bat rolls first out, you know? But yeah, unfortunately, yeah, you do not hit with any of those.
And I can't really do anything. I mean, I guess I can. I'll move a little closer. I don't want to move too close.
Keep in mind, these guys are suspended up in the air. So like they're
Okay.
grabbing onto the ceiling pretty much.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll just stay like right there.
How high are they approximately? Since they're a large creature, they will be about 20 feet from the ground. Because they're technically a large creature.
I am so happy that I didn't like do my normal Kipper moving around for fun thing.
Hey, I'm telling you.
That would have ended very poorly for Kipper.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it my turn yet?
Yes, it is now your turn.
Okay. So let's see. I'm gonna try and because my mana is running like near halfway, so I'm gonna try and keep it relatively low level. But I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt, and I'm gonna try and cast it around the tentacle, a little closer to the base of the monster, but directed at the tentacle that is holding Ambrose. So
All
at
right.
least the only damage he would take is fall damage, potentially.
Okay. Roll for your attack. We'll see depending on your roll what happens.
Okay, let's see. Guiding Bolt. Normal roll. Okay.
Okay, Kipper. That unfortunately misses.
Ard, what is a 19?
I don't know.
It's a 19? You can't say I don't know. There's only 2 options. It's a 19 or a 20.
I don't know.
I think you know. I think you just.
I mean, you
mean
know, you
I
just can't tell
tell
us.
you. That's okay.
What can I say?
But yeah, Kipper, you charge up your bolt of energy. Oh, by the way, what level are you gonna cast it? Because this thing is dumb.
It was level 1.
Okay, so
yeah.
make sure to take down the mana. You charge up the bolt of lightning. You see it shoot at the creature. The creature kind of shrugs it off.
I'm sorry, but like. Okay, well, I guess I should next. Let's see if there's anything I can cast that's a buff that is an extra bonus. Because we're gonna kind of need something that.
I think your only bonus action spells that are available is Spiritual Weapon and Healing Word, I think.
For now.
I've only played Cleric once though, so.
I know it.
And that was a while ago.
Yeah.
That was like 2 years ago that I played Cleric. If you don't count Baldur's Gate 3, but some mechanics are completely different, so.
Yes.
I Dang nabbit.
Right,
Because
everyone
I'm
just
not talking,
move,
by the
everyone just
way,
move
Patch
under
is
the
out.
barnacle and just overwhelm it with options.
I can't throw a dagger would be
An action, yes.
an action. Yeah.
Take an
Dang
attack.
nabbit. Oh wait, but okay, so I forgot. I think it wasn't spirit arcans. It was
Spirit's whole weapon, I'm pretty sure you're looking for.
Yeah,
It's a level 2 spell.
that's a level. Yeah. Okay, so I'll submit that.
Okay.
It's not gonna hit,
Uh,
but at least it'll be formed.
it summons, yes. You can summon it up to 20 feet from you or more actually. So you might be able to summon it
I
like
think it's-
right next to it. Let me
It's
check
up
real
to
quick.
60 feet. It can only move 20 feet in a turn.
Yeah, so let's see, Bib. For all intents and purposes, you are 25 feet. Yeah, you can literally summon it right next to the monster up in the ceiling if you want to.
And it does make an attack roll immediately. However, that's not
The attack is gonna miss,
It's not gonna hit.
but the
But
thing
it's
will be
annoying, the
summoned.
thing. Hopefully it like splits its attention in two directions. It only has one eyeball.
So are you gonna summon it right next to the creature?
Yeah, I'm gonna spawn it. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna spawn it like near
Okay.
near that tentacle specifically.
Yep,
Because
totally.
my first focus is making sure that McBoyo does not die.
Okay. MacBoy. Okay. Yeah, that's all good. That is all good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And yeah, that is going to be it for your turn, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Alrighty, Ambrose, you are up, my friend. What are you
Okay.
doing?
I'm pretty sure that there was like a check I can do to attempt to break out of this.
Yes,
correct?
it's either strength or dexterity.
Strength.
But let me check real quick.
Is it still at disadvantage? I'm not sure.
Yes. Wait. Target has restraint and has disadvantage on strength checks and strength saving throws.
This enemy is such a bully.
Oh, it is a very bad enemy. Trust me, I know.
Okay. Athletics at
Ooh, misery.
disadvantage. 15.
That succeeds, and Dishonor,
Oh.
you are released
Falling-
from the
I
grapple.
fall 20
Thank
The only
goodness.
problem is that yes, you do fall 20 feet, and you take how much was the falling damage?
It's 1d6 per 10 feet.
All right. So you take,
However, I think I might get Featherfall, is what I'm assuming she is saying.
wait, Featherfall? Oh yeah. You know what? You guys did have Featherfall, so you will not take any damage. Oh, it's a you
It
can
is a
do
reaction.
but isn't it? Oh wait, no, you can. It's up to 60 feet. Let me check. Are you good? Are you good? I'll allow it. Yep, I'll allow it. All right. So you get Featherfall casted on you, and Ambrose, you're able to descend to the ground and not take a single bit of
Oh
damage.
my goodness. That is so helpful
And-
because I was like a little worried that I was gonna have to use cantrips to revive you this round.
And now, what I would like to say is get as far away as possible and force it to get in a position that it is at a disadvantage. But unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that its arm is longer than I am. That I
Oh
can,
yes. If it can grab you from the ceiling, that thing has range.
Low key. Let's just jump in the pit.
That's an option.
Jump the pit.
Well, the unfortunate thing is, it is all going next.
that
Well,
is true.
technically, that would be this other guy, and I will have Taurin, the bear, and she go. So, you know, it's not going exactly next.
That's good. Stalactite, go last.
That will be up to you, my
Let's-
friend, but I will need a decision.
Up to who?
Up to all of
Oh.
you.
Ambrose. Oh, it's up to us on
Yeah, to see
whether
how you
who goes first?
proceed or anything. I don't know.
I mean, these
Uh,
things are pretty tough, and I
I'm
Can I-
one man.
my punch only goes right in the square next to me. I'm
Yeah.
short. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
My
I say jump into
You
the pit.
are mostly melee. Yeah, honestly.
if you
it
haven't
sounds nice.
noticed, my javelins don't do a lot of damage, and that's my only range. And I only have 3 of them, and 2 of them are injured right now. Well, not injured, but like.
Yeah,
Correct.
I only got 3 daggers left.
I think running is a nice thing. I like.
I don't think I can really like gale force this thing off the ceiling. It seems,
Yeah,
seems
I'm
a little resilient,
worried
like a barnacle.
that we're going to try and defeat these guys, and then once we get into the hole, whatever awaits us is going to.
And plus, well, how does that feather falling spell by Chi work? It affects all of us, right? That's how we got that last time, right?
It's up
Yes.
to 5 fallen creatures.
Okay, so yeah, we should be safe to descend, and I also, as a monk, get reduced fall damage anyways, even if we don't know how deep this pit is. Probably be fine. Probably.
Yeah, I
be
remember the last
fine.
time you investigated, and I told you that below
Yeah.
you could see, like I said, some lit up, I guess, like caves down there. So
Mhm. This might have to be an act first, think later type of situation.
Yeah, it's just the issue is if I stay right here, I'm going to probably get immediately pulled back up.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because, so like, at least if I were to move like over here, it would have to drag me towards it and up at the same time.
I
Or
will say,
I'll like climb on your back and like saw its tongue off.
I mean, that is up to you, Ambrose. What are you doing?
Your life is in your hands.
How? Actually, hold on. Let me check something. How far away is this thing? So I think I can get like right. The other thing is I don't really want to just leave Rexmoa there either.
I'll be fine, maybe. Baby
I don't know
Bob,
what the
possibly.
range of its tentacle is. I know it's more than 25 feet. but-
Yeah.
Oh, it
pretty
is.
safe bet.
Oh, it is.
Because I mean, to be fair, this one just grabbed me directly below, which would be 25 feet.
It might have been just because you woke him up.
Well, no, I'm saying the distance of like how long the tentacle can reach is what I'm saying.
Oh man, we're gonna have to calculate the
Yeah, exactly.
the radius of this sphere. All right, everyone, get out your polar coordinates.
The radius of the sun is 8.
Okay, what I'm going to do is, I am. Do you think it's a good idea to run? Is that what we're gonna try doing here?
Yeah, I think this is the consensus. Is it's a good
Okay,
idea to run. Considering a
then-
19 didn't hit it, I was like, I'm not feeling confident.
Okay, so this is 25 movement speed. I'm going to go here. I'm going to use my bait and switch maneuver, and I'm gonna pull Rexmoa into my spot. If you're okay with that.
Yeah, I consent.
Yeah. Okay. So
And-
you're willing.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm gonna go back here,
Okay.
and then I will move 5 feet here, and then you have a higher AC than I do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and give myself the buff from bait and switch, because I'm technically, actually, to make this more worthwhile, I'll go right here instead,
Okay.
just to be like in front, quote unquote. And I'm going to give myself the AC buff I get from this, which is rolling a D8.
All right. Go ahead. Ooh.
Oh,
Big
my
boy,
AC
big
is
boy.
now 25.
All
Oh, la
right.
mole.
And for like the wording on that, we just switch places, and then I can choose one of us to gain a D8 worth of AC.
That is a big boy. That is a big boy AC.
Since I know these things grapple based upon attack rolls now,
They don't need any saves. If it hits you, you're grappled. That's fucking
And-
insane.
that will be my turn.
Alrighty. So we go into the last turn in the order, which is this other guy over here. This guy, you can see that the base of this creature just kind of splits from the ceiling, and you see some legs that are like grappling into it, and it starts slowly moving. It cannot move too much, so it's just gonna move over here. Unfortunately, it cannot move too much.
That's fortunate that it only moves that much.
Let's see.
I think
Unfortunate that it moved at all.
Okay. It's going to dash as its action, and it's gonna move it up. Boop. And that's what it's gonna do, because that is it for it. As we go into the end of the initiative order, Chi, what are you doing? If the consensus is that you guys are running, I will have Taurin run with you guys, with the bear.
Leave the bear behind. No.
No bear left behind.
Not the
Bear leavable. I just can't bear with this.
Oh my lord.
That's the polar opposite of what we want to do.
We need to take with us just the bare necessities.
Simple bare necessities.
Can you hold the action for feather falling? Yeah, totally. Of course.
I can barely.
I mean, Featherfall is
stand this.
already a reaction.
Well, it is
so
a
you don't really
reaction,
have
so
to
yeah, you
hold
don't have to hold it. It can happen as soon as you guys are doing it.
Forget about your worries and stuff.
The bare
I hope you're
necessities.
prepared to cast Featherfall.
Oh, you cast bless on everybody. Okay, let me put everybody a little yellow dot. Oop.
Bear witness to these nuts.
And
Ancestors, one and all.
witness.
Forefathers, one and all. That's what it was.
That fight is
Yes.
actually really fun, I just want to say.
All right, and that is your action, Chi. Anything else you want to do? Bardic Inspiration to Ambrose. All right, Ambrose, you now have a dice of Bardic Inspiration. That is no, actually. Oh wait, no, that is your bonus action because we're not playing 2024 rules, so you're fine. That is all?
I
Okay.
I technically have 3 buffs on me right now. My AC buff,
Oh,
bless, and also Bardic Inspiration.
All right. So I would say that if you guys are running, Taurin is just going to be ready to jump, pretty much. That's about it. That's what I'll say for her. And yeah, we go back to the top of the initiative order, and this guy over here, he did not like that his prey ran away, so it's going to lash out with another tentacle. Which funny enough, it will hit you even from there. That is a 19 to hit. You are lucky. That
I
thing
didn't use
missed
bait and
you.
switch, that would have hit me.
That thing missed you. You can see like the tentacle reach out up to you and just kind of slap it away. Because you managed to, this time you managed to see it immediately as you got it. And I mean, he's just gonna move over here. And that's about it. What all what they can do. Actually, that would take an attack of opportunity from your weapon. Bip bip. Roll the attack of your weapon.
These things can move. What the hell?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think they have like a 10 movement speed.
Yeah, they have very low movement speed.
Does that okay? Every time that I use the action, do I have to use more mana? Or
No.
So
It's like another
It's
little
it's just
summon.
summoning it. Okay. Awesome.
yeah, after you cast it, it just stays for a minute, and on subsequent turns, you can use a bonus action to attack with it again.
Exactly.
I love that. It
But this is an
makes
attack
me
of
feel
opportunity, so you can attack with it.
It is
Okay. And I
widely
have-
considered a really good cleric spell because it basically makes up for the fact that clerics don't have extra attack.
Correct.
Okay, so because I have blessed, do I use advantage or do I just add
No,
bless
it is
afterwards?
the attack of the weapon itself. I made you a character sheet for the weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
Oh,
just roll
yes.
that attack.
Hold on. How do I character sheet? How do I roll that?
You should click on the attack thing. If you hover over the name attack, you'll see that it goes red. There you go. Oh my lord, nat 20. Let's go.
That's crazy.
That will be
That
Money,
is
baby.
yeah, okay.
8
Roll
plus
me
whatever you roll.
roll me a 1d8 bit, please.
Mm-hmm. 1d8.
Because of our rules, he gets full damage for 1, and that is
So
12
that's-
plus 9.
Do I add bless?
No, you are, because the
No,
weapon is
no.
not blessed, unfortunately.
Okay.
So
Also,
that will
bless
be,
only applies to the attack roll and saving
yeah,
throws.
that will be at 21 points of damage that you did to this thing. That is a big chunk of damage.
Ouch.
Ooh.
You see that the weapon swing. Well, actually, what form is your weapon, Bib Bib? What weapon are you summoning? What kind of weapon?
A bit.
It's a scythe.
It's a scythe? Okay, so you see the scythe just swing at it, and you can see the cut left with it. It did do a decent amount of damage. The thing was able to move away, but it definitely got hurt. And that is it for its
Good.
turn. Rexmoa, you're up.
Ooh. All right. Let me check something real quick. I'm trying
think
to remember
now
the
technically-
dimensions of that wind spell.
I think we're technically now just free to jump.
Gust of wind dimensions.
We could run.
That's a good
Or
idea.
At this point, I mean,
might-
retreat
60
would
feet
be
long and 10
aimable-
foot wide.
available.
I'm gonna spend 2 key points, and I'm gonna cast Gust of Wind on
which
me
direction?
and Ambrose, and I'm gonna cast it, facing this direction.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like 10
okay.
by 60.
Yep,
So
I'm gonna put a little. Yeah, there you go. Oh, well,
I'm just
you were done.
imagining you guys ragdolling in the wind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
yeah,
ragdoll.
yeah, and then I'm gonna use that to my advantage, and I'm also going to like follow the wind essentially and just jump into this pit.
Okay. Yeah, you can use your movement and just jump into it
Whee!
and just go
Roll and
wee.
sprint.
Perfect. Okay. And I'm
yeah,
assuming
we can opt to just fail the saving throw.
exactly. You can literally just say, "Hey, I do want to take this damage," or not damage, but movement. But yeah, that's cool. Okay, Rexmoa, then you will be falling into the pit. That would trigger Chi's feather falling, but we'll see what the other people do and see how we end up doing. Kipper,
I think everyone wants to jump.
you're up.
I certainly wouldn't want to be the last one.
Hey, listen.
So, I mean, my weapon's there. Can I use... Okay, so I'm gonna use my movement as my last action, but I'm gonna have my weapon attack Mr. Man again.
Okay, yeah, you can move the weapon. You have the character sheet of the weapon. There will tell you how much movement it has and all of that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it should be able to get there, but I can't move it.
Oh, you cannot? Okay, well, I'm gonna move it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it over there. Yeah, go ahead and, well, that's your bonus action for all for your attack. That unfortunately misses, but hey, you got your weapon next to it. That's fine.
Alright, okay. Okay. So
Alright.
I'm gonna also... I'm assuming Gust of Wind isn't continuously happening, so I'm just gonna use my movement.
Well, it
and,
is. It is continuously happening until, well, at this point, if Rexmoa moves, the gust of wind would move with him. So it would be like over there while
Oh,
falling.
can I like... Oh, okay. So I can't like jump into it?
Yeah, no, unfortunately, no.
Okay, I'm
'Cause
just
it
gonna
would've
jump in
been-
the hole.
Okay. Yeah, easy enough. You and she, because you were holding the lantern, not the lantern, the jar. It's pretty much a lantern at this point. Yeah, you jump in. Cheese thing is gonna wait. Ambrose, your turn.
Yeah, I'm going with. Woo.
All right. So everybody's going away, and Taurin is going to follow you guys as well. So at this point, we can say that, yeah, you guys drop down. She, as you guys are falling, reaches out from her jar, well, not out from her jar, reaches out inside her jar, and the energy that she emanates makes you guys float down into the caves following. And you guys have avoided an encounter. Good. So, we'll remove that initiative order because we are no longer in initiative. But yeah, as you guys drop down, you can see that the drop from that level that you guys just were in with the creatures is very large, and as you're falling, you can probably tell that there are more like mine shafts and caverns as you guys are falling. obviously the featherfall will act and make you not take any sort of, damage while falling. In
Break
the
all
end,
of our necks.
exactly, you will not die from it at all. In the end, you end up in a lower chasm where, as I mentioned before, you can see lit up lanterns, some signs that you weren't able to see before. You can hear the monsters growling up above, but they're not going to get you, and if they drop down, that's probably to their deaths, so it is what it is. And yeah, you guys are down now into this new chasm with, as I said, you guys are in a lit up area. And she says, well, that was a little scary.
Is everyone all right? Sound off?
I'm surprisingly okay. Though, I must say, I didn't think a rock would have such big teeth.
I don't think that was much of a rock as much as a thing pretending to be a rock.
Either way, my arm's kind of hurt from being grabbed by that thing. Lot
I'm
stronger
just
than it
happy
looks.
to see you good.
She
Or
says,
at least as injured as previously.
a hungry thing by the looks of it.
Well, hungry is good at least. At least it hasn't satisfied its appetite on a dwarf or two. Where are we? Yeah, do we have a good look of this place? Like, is this illustration somewhat
this
accurate
is-
to what we're seeing?
No, this is just kind of like
okay.
theater of mine kind of
So
deal.
it's like still
not
like pretty
yeah.
dark.
It is
It's
pretty dark.
It's lame.
Yeah, as I said, like you can see on top, like the hole that you guys fell from. You can see like up above, it's kind of tall. As I said, it's probably a few levels down. You like trying to focus a little bit with the darkness and everything. You can see that there's a few mine shafts as you guys are going down. Clearly, this area was created by the earthquakes that have been happening pretty frequently. There's a lot of rubble and debris around you, and very large rocks that block some other mine shafts that you can barely see by tiny holes that can show you more of the area. But the level that you're on right now, as I said, it does have lit up lanterns, and you can see some tracks as well, some like minecart tracks.
Yeah, I would like to, I guess, like examine the lanterns and see how full the oil levels are, and then like how hot they are.
Yeah, the lantern, as you reach closer to the lanterns, you get your hand close to the structure, you can see that the lantern is hot. Like it's been on for a while. And the oil is about a third of full, I guess.
Are these lanterns that the miners set up? Who's been feeding them?
Well, I would assume so. They must be rather fresh. Still got some oil in them.
That must mean that there's survivors down here. Or at least there were when this was filled.
How much oil did you say was currently in them?
A third of the
A
lantern.
third.
A third? Okay, thank you. Sorry.
And oil can burn for a while, but like a third at least denotes like recently.
Yeah. Must have been a few hours at the most, I'd say. This is good. And so, can we tell? So we're like in a chamber connecting a bunch of minecart tracks. Can we tell like I guess
You can see
an
the
indication of what
direction-
goes deeper?
You can see the direction where the minecart goes. It's a straight like tunnel where you are right now. You can see like it goes like a little bit down, because it's obviously not like straight, not like leveled ground. It's obviously been dug and it's not like completely flat. You can see that it goes down a little bit. Other areas that may have like another passages or stuff, most of them are like covered by rubble because as I mentioned before, the earthquake opened up this route, so the rubble just kind of messed up with some of the entrances. You have one clear path, and as I said, it is lit up. And actually, Rexmoa, would you mind giving me a little bit of a perception check, please?
I would not. Let's see what these eyes perceive. Move.
Okay.
Cataracts.
No, you are. You hear what everything hears. Like the little rubble moving about, maybe some dust falling here and there, the sound of the flickering of the flame of the lantern that you're close of. Nothing really catches your attention.
Well, I guess we don't really have much choice but to continue. Unless you all want to get more familiar with those things up there.
No.
Well, I guess it's pretty clear cut then. Does
will-
anyone... Mhm.
So I was just gonna say, I'll like mark down like on my like makeshift maps that we came through the hole and whatnot, and do what I can to map out what we see from here.
Give me a survival check with advantage because you have your mapping tools to see if you're able to properly point out this information in your map. Okay. You do an okay job at doing it. It's probably not a map that everybody can read, but you understand what you wrote. And at this point, that's kind of all that matters. So you're kind of pleased with the result. You were able to map it out. As I said, probably somebody else who's reading the map may not understand what you have just drawn there, but it's there.
My arms are still like
Yeah, you're
shaking
kinda
from having to
shaking.
like bulge them so much from being because I imagine those ropers, even though it doesn't actually do damage to be grappled by them, I imagine it probably hurts.
Yeah,
The fact that you have disadvantage on the check to escape them, most things don't do that.
It
That
is
that
very
thing
interesting.
probably had me wrapped tighter than bondage.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The grippers.
Don't say it like that.
Oh no. The octave was too low.
If it was me down there, sure, but Ambrose, no.
Damn. But yeah, you're able to map out somewhat well. Not like super well, but it's there. So you can figure out like where you guys are going. And if you guys are deciding to go ahead, as I said, there's only one proper way to go. The others will require for you to clear out more rubble. But as I mentioned before, you can see through some of the rubble that is not like completely covering these caverns or I guess mines, that there are more lit up lanterns. So you can probably, understand that there has been some sort of movement around here. But you guys follow the one path that you have at the moment and slowly start going, descending slowly through the uneven ground of the mines. You can see more evidence of the earthquakes messing with the underground of this place. You can see, like, for example, the ground at some point is open, like very large cracks forming on the ground or on the walls even. Rubble in places that it looks to be like, something would traverse this normally, but there's a big boulder on it. And other features, like for example, what I mentioned, the beams that are holding up the cave from collapsing are bent, or they are in not a great shape, or like they've been hit by something or moved. You can tell that on the underground is probably where it had been felt the worst the whole like brunt of the earthquakes. And as you continue down of this path, you can see many branching paths. But one thing that all of you guys notice, and it will not let you roll for this one because it's plain in sight. Some of them are not lit up, but there is one that is clearly lit up. And you can see like the lanterns on these other passageways, but they have not been turned on.
Well, I'd say it's kind of obvious where we should be going, maybe. These lanterns didn't light themselves after all.
Yeah, so you're gonna...
Unless they do, which brings a lot of other weird questions. So I'm going to just assume that they don't.
that they don't. So, okay, you guys are going to continue following the trail of lanterns. Again, avoiding a little bit of the, I guess, now natural disaster that is occurring in these mountains.
Mhm.
A few more, I guess, a few more like moments that you continue walking through these mines, just following the trails that are lit up. Because as I said, there are many winding paths and different like branches to these mines, but there is always the coincidence that one of those branches is always lit up. So you decide to follow this passage. You guys are stopped again by another rumbling of the earth. This one very strong as well. You guys grab each other like your hands, or maybe hold onto a beam of these mines. Whoever cannot hold onto it just would be immediately fall to its knees. It's a strength that the earth itself feels like you are in a... feels almost like waves. Like the earth itself is moving in a way that you cannot hold your balance, no matter how athletic you could be.
Oh.
It takes
Yeah, that
a
definitely
moment.
sounds like an Earth Titan.
It takes a moment to pass. I would say probably about a minute and a half, which is very long for such happenings. As everything settles down again, you can hear the vibrations of the metal of the tracks or the beams that they're using, or like the cage walls that they have to hold the rubble. And you hear, falling of rocks from some places to the others, the shaking of the lantern. Something would fall down and just break. It is definitely a scary sight, especially being this deep underground. You guys are able to feel it much more closer. But after it passes, you can see that the area that you guys are in did not take a lot of damage. You do see, as I said, some rubble that has accumulated in the cage walls for these mines, and dust and rocks falling from the ceiling or maybe from the walls. You do hear a lot more like thuds behind you and probably far in front of you, that other pieces of the caves are collapsing as it did before. But you decide to continue because this is the only way that you have seen that there is any sort of progress. So you continue walking through these narrow, not so narrow, passages. You can see like the strength of this earthquake makes the minecart tracks bend and be completely destroyed. You see the bars are busted in some points, and cracks on the ground appear. You have to jump through some of them. They're fairly, you know, not so deep, but some of them that you kind of catch a glance, you see like the point that there is no bottom. Like you can see the levels below and darkness all the way down. The passageway extends for another few I'd say a few more minutes as you guys are going through these the winding of, I guess, this trail, I would say, of lights that you have been following until you encounter another chasm. This one, however, was very much open. They didn't have any tracks, but you can see lanterns around as well. And on the far end of this chasm, there was a huge open cavern. On the far end of this cavern, something catches your eye, and it is that one of these lanterns just turned on.
So, we all saw that as like a party.
Yeah. You guys were walking, kind of like looking about. You are clearly like following the lantern trail, and you enter this huge cavern area with there are no more tracks, but there are still lanterns. And as you guys are going like from one end and starting to move around, you would see that at the other side of the cavern there are no more lanterns. So you would think, hey, our trail ends here. However, you guys notice that one of the lanterns just turns on.
Oh, it just turned on?
Yeah, that's immediately.
Like in front of our eyes.
Not, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit far away, but yes, you just saw the lantern go on. Like, turn on.
Does that mean there's like an automatic system, or... That's a little odd.
Do I still have my passed out choice?
How long does it last? Is it like 10 minutes, I'm pretty sure? Because if it's like 10 minutes, then you probably don't have it anymore.
It is...
I'm pretty sure it was like 10 minutes.
It's up to 1 hour.
Up to 1 hour. I would say, sure, you would still have it.
I'm pretty sure I didn't fail my save in the...
Well, you didn't take damage at all. That's the thing.
Well, I did take damage during the fight with, to avoid saying the name of them, the tentacle beaks. I think I took damage though, but I'm pretty sure
we did roll it. Right? Yeah, we did roll it and you did save, because we had to roll twice and you saved both of them, so you're fine.
Okay. Then, yeah, it lasts an hour, so you said I would still have it then?
Yeah. You guys are still blurred by this like energy that is emanating from Ambrose.
Okay, good.
Maybe we should check it out, but be careful. It's possible someone is luring us.
It's as good a lead as any, I would say. So, yes, approach with caution.
Are you guys going to try to sneak? Oh, she says perhaps someone is there. Some of the miners. We are here to find them.
That's why we're going, to get closer. But in case it is something that wants our head, we're already in a bit too deep.
I think that we should at least continue for the closure of the miners' families, if not for the miners themselves at least. I think we might save them, but regardless of what we find, we will find something.
As you guys are having this conversation, you can see that the lantern next to that one also turns on.
Does it not seem... Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, yeah, we could just like slowly start approaching.
Yeah.
All right, if you're going to go into stealth, please everybody give me stealth checks. To see what happens. You got a +10 bonus because of your pass without trace, but you know, we'll see what happens.
And I have the mask of stealth. So what is that? What's the bonus?
+1 to that
Plus
one, so you have
one.
+11. All right, Kipper has a 25 to stealth.
Oh, but I have disadvantage because
I
of
know.
heavy armor.
It-
So
it has plus 10.
It's a 15 + 10.
Oh wow.
You have a 31 dishonor. Okay.
Ooh,
That's
yeah.
with
crazy.
disadvantage.
With
Jesus.
disadvantage. Yeah.
So wait, I roll this with advantage since I'm not.
No,
Since I don't have heavy
you
armor?
roll it
Oh,
normally. You just get a
okay.
+11.
They just automatically.
Yeah. Okay, so you got a
Yeah.
24. Okay.
Heavy armor just makes it so we have disadvantage because it's clinking around.
Exactly. So, yeah. You guys are not spotted as you guys start creeping in closer, following this trail of lanterns that is turning on slowly as it progresses. You get to probably 2/3 of this chasm until you start hearing the muttering of words. And as you approach a little bit further, you can see movement, and specifically, you notice there are a couple of dwarves kind of being lookouts, looking behind them as they proceed through the tunnels of these chasms. They are armed with mining equipment, but not proper weapons. That's what you can see immediately.
I imagine I'm probably taking lead since I'm the one with Pass Without Trace actually concentrating on it. So I'll just kind of like glance back the party and say, and just kind of like put a thumbs up, say it's okay. And
thumbs up in return.
I will move a bit forward and not super loud in case they are actually hiding from something, but loud enough for them to hear me, I will say. And I will also like put my sword on my back, saying them that way. That way I don't shout at them. I just have my sword pointed at them.
Right. Just
'Cause that would look
threaten them
suspicious.
immediately.
Oi, you all right over there? We were sent down here to find you guys.
At the first word, you hear that the ones that are looking behind just kind of jump and they get ready and they're gonna try to attack you. They're looking around. They're like, "What? Who's there?"
And I'll have my I will like stand fully up and put my hands in the air as well.
Are you willingly letting yourself be seen? Because
Yes,
what I
am
mean is that
willingly
they
let-
have not spotted you.
Yeah, I am specifically undoing my stuff.
Okay. So yeah, as
Once
you
I see that they are dwarves, I will stand up and start walking towards them with my hands in the air so they
Okay.
can see I don't have any weapons currently handled.
So as you do this, the blurriness of your body kind of disappears a little bit because you're kind of willingly letting yourself be seen at this point. And as your body starts to, appear for them, you can see they get ready to like strike. They're kind of like thinking about it because it's something weird that just something would just materialize a few feet from them.
It is a little weird.
But after they see that there is a person and they hear you mention the fact that you're there to save them, there's a big sigh of relief. And they call from inside the tunnel they were going. And they say, "Hey, we got help here." The two dwarves that were kind of like looking at the rear, they drop their like pickaxes and go over towards you. And slowly, and a few moments later, you would see that another 3 dwarves appear. 2 of them are female and another male dwarf. This one, however, you are able to notice immediately that he has a tourniquet on one of its legs and needs help to walk.
What was
I will-
the amount of miners that they gave us at the beginning?
I was actually checking that right now because I'm pretty sure I have it written down. There, yeah, here we are. There were 6 endangered dwarves according to the guards.
Mm-hmm.
How many are
And
here?
it-
You see here 5.
Okay. I'm assuming Kipper would remember how many we were looking for.
Yes, I would say that you guys would have a good idea of like what your mission is.
Oh, okay. There's 5 of you here currently. We were sent for 6. Would you know where the 6th might be so we can bring them back too?
As you mentioned this, the dwarves that are closer, the ones that were like looking out for the rear, they just kind of give you a shake of their heads in silence.
Are they dead?
That is what they're trying to convey, yes.
Okay.
Was it because of earthquake? Do you know what happened to them?
One of the female dwarves that is helping to carry this other one says, "The damn earth swallowed him. Couldn't even save him. We had no time."
So no body to bring back.
We can't even
It's-
dig for his corpse. It's buried.
It's good at least that you all are okay, even if a bit tattered here and there.
How did you make it this far down? I thought no one was going to rescue us.
It wasn't for lack of trying. There was a lot of jumping down holes. There's a lot of sinkholes that have formed
And
due to this. It's kind of shortcut.
to say the least, there have been complications back in the kingdom that have prevented a larger squad from coming down here earlier.
It's not something we should go over just yet, just because I know you're dealing with the loss of a friend, but it's not very pretty up there either, currently.
You hear the dwarf that is being helped to walk, the one with the tourniquet on his leg. He says, "I don't care about a damn thing that has happened in the surface. Take me out. I'm already tired of this. I don't want to die."
Would you like the good news or bad news first?
Yeah, all of them just kind of sigh as you mention bad news.
Don't,
Okay.
Rexmoa, don't put it like that. You of all people should know how bad that sounds.
Well, okay, so you want the good news first. There is a way out. Multiple ways out, even. And the bad news is they might not be as easy for those of you who aren't as able-bodied. So we might have to look for alternatives. We had to jump down 2 separate pits to get down here, and I don't mean to cause any offense, but you do not look like you're in climbing condition at the moment.
The man with the tourniquet says, "Not in condition? Oh, I am even stronger than you, lad. You don't even know what I'm capable of doing." And he just makes a wrong move and he just kind of groans at the pain of his leg. And the other one is like, the other like dwarves are like, "Stop it, you're going to hurt yourself." Just kind of smack him.
Don't worry, we're not challenging your masculinity. It's just, you might have been in prime condition earlier this week, but maybe not necessarily in this injured state you're currently in. But we'll have you back in the pubs as soon as possible. Preferably rest first and hydrate before you go to the pub, please.
One of the other dwarves that were like taking the rear goes, we were trying to find another way out. All of our routes have been either blocked by the rubble or just become a death trap. Some of the creatures here are not happy. So we were leaving a trail to see if we could find another exit, and maybe if we found more lit lanterns, we would know to turn around.
Well,
So, what do the lanterns indicate?
They're
they
basically
were just like
letting you
basically breadcrumbs.
know. Yeah.
Okay. Oh. So wait. Okay. So the implication is that they were leaving the lanterns for us to find them. They weren't following them.
No, that they were using the lanterns as their own breadcrumb trail.
Okay. I just wanted to make
So
sure.
they know where they've been and where not to
Exactly.
go.
Okay.
Because one thing that you notice is that besides what they're wearing and the weapons that they may carry, but they're like mining equipment, you know, they don't have anything else. Like they don't carry any backpacks or any sort of things. They're just wearing what they're wearing and like pickaxes or like hammers and stuff like that.
The question, the question is, Ambrose, how's your health looking? Because I can use.
I am looking the exact same shape as I was before. So
I don't know what you were
I-
looking before.
I have a small injury, but I'm okay.
Okay, because I have 2 channel divinities. I can use the large portion of the. I can use the large portion to heal the man who's currently in a tourniquet, and I can use whatever remains for you.
Okay, yeah, if you
And-
want to do that, that would probably be a good idea.
Yeah.
And I would like to use some of my rations, 5 of them to be specific, and I'd just like to pass them out to the
I
miners.
actually did buy extra rations specifically to give to them if you want to use those.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, we can do that too. Either way, let's get these hard-working dwarves some food.
Yeah.
Since it seems pretty apparent that they're.
I also brought extra water as well.
While you guys are working on food, I'm going to just I'm just gonna put my hand on McDude's shoulder. And I'm like, don't worry, McDude face. Yeah. Don't worry, sir. I'm a fully trained medic. I'll get you feeling at least a little bit better than currently, and then the climb will be that much not as bad.
Aye, whatever you have to do, lad, just do it fast.
Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna use one of my points for that, and then how do we do? Let's see.
It's
It was
5 health per cleric level, and then you can distribute that onto however you want to, onto as many creatures, but you can only distribute those points.
Okay, 5 times 6. That would be 30. So, how much does this guy need?
You can see that, I mean, outside of the leg that is looking pretty bad, he doesn't look like that beat up. Of course, you know, they're dirty, there are probably some bruises and cuts here and there, but nothing that would like hinder them too much, you know?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I guess I could. It depends on. I could just disperse it amongst them, and
Yeah,
then
yeah. You can totally
put
do that.
most of the health into. And then also Ambrose, because Ambrose needs.
Yeah,
a
how
little bit of
much health are you going to disperse for each one? As I said, you have 30 points of healing. How are you? There's
Okay.
5 dwarves and obviously the 4 of you. In this case,
The
3
question
of you.
is, how much health would tourniquet man need?
You don't know that. I'm just giving you a
I
description.
don't know. Oh. Okay. I guess like I'll give 10 to him,
Okay.
and then I will give 5 to Ambrose, and
Okay.
then the remainder 15. Let's see.
If it matters, I will note that does not put me at max HP.
That will not put you at max HP. Okay,
Yeah.
I will give you the other 10. I will just give 10 to one guy, 10 to you, and then I'll break up the last 10 into groups.
2 for each
of-
dwarf.
Yeah.
Well, that would
That
be...
will put me at full HP.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, sure. So you use your channel divinity, you step down, gather your hands and your holy symbol, and start,
Which I don't have.
which you don't have, but yeah, right, I forgot about that. You start praying, and the holy energy starts emanating from you, giving each of the dwarves a little bit of a respite as they get this healing onto them, especially the man with the tourniquet. You can see that the wound on his leg has closed and he can move it a little bit better. He's still kind of limping, but he is mostly okay. Ambrose, you would be set back to full HP. And
Yep.
as you guys are distributing the water and the rations, which take down the rations, whoever is doing that. They are
one for each dwarf, I assume.
okay. Yep, one ration for each. Well, yeah, we'll say that. Yeah, these people are probably hungry, so
Okay,
we'll say that
I
they ate the
will
whole
move them
thing.
from my rations because, like I said, I did purchase extra rations specifically to give to the dwarves.
Okay,
So,
sure thing. Yeah,
and I can also spare more if they desire it.
Yeah, no. They remember that these rations are for a day each, so they just
Yeah.
kind of like eat all of it, and they're like,
It's a
"Cool,
dwarf, though, I'm just
that's
saying."
kind of cool. That's kind of all right for now, you know."
It's all right. We don't want
Water's-
the opposite where, you know, they eat too much and they just want to take a nap down there.
Exactly, a forever nap.
While
Dirt
they're
nap.
eating, I would like pull out the maps and like show them to the dwarves and be like, I've been working on mapping out every level we've came down. This one has been a little bit confusing after jumping down the hole, but everything above, unless it's changed because of the quakes, should look relatively like this.
One of the dwarves would go over to you. One of the female dwarves will go over to you and start looking at the maps that you're showing, and she goes, "Can't blame you there. Paths in these mines are not for anybody to explore, but you did a good job." And she just kind of looks around at the maps and goes, "Yeah, some parts are a little amateur, but we can do with that. If we're correct," she points at the tunnel that they were gonna go through, "we should find a connection to the levels above going from that tunnel. So that's why we were following this route. I don't think we'll be able to go back from where you came if you said it was not going to be a very pleasant climb. But perhaps continuing forward, we can find another way to get to these upper levels."
Yes, the path we took to get here, we wouldn't want to go back that way. Not just because of trying to climb it. I don't know what they were, but they kind of looked like stalactites, and they were particularly aggressive.
Oh, I hate those things. They've killed so many of us. That's why some sections of the mines are closed. We can't even hold them. We don't have enough power down here. Cannot send the soldiers either. A soldier would not walk around the mines and just babysit us.
If I had prepared better and brought more ranged weaponry, perhaps it would have been different, but fortunately, and I'll kind of like just like jostle the sling of my great sword. It's really all I got.
She just nods and like, goes back to the group, and they start like talking about like, you can see that they're pointing at the chasm and they're kind of like trying to see like what route would be best, or like if they remember that this specific part would lead them to like another connection and all of the things like that. As you guys, Kipper, you stop praying because you've already done your healing, and everybody else is just finished with the rations, the water, and they're just kind of at this point waiting to leave. The group of 5 dwarves seems determined to continue in that direction.
Well, if anyone knows these mines, it's the dwarves. Least we can do is just provide protection in case something appears.
It's as good as option as any. May as well stick together, even though.
And the way back is not exactly safe.
I
Yeah.
don't enjoy the way back, but I am a little afraid of the way forward. Will we be able to find our way out if we took a different route?
I
There has
think
been many
generally
quakes.
Everything should generally lead back and wrap around. It'll probably just take more time.
I feel like if veteran cavers struggle to find their way out, we're generally new to caving.
Well,
Then why
Kipper.
we should stick to professionals.
We're simply, how would the dwarves say? There's an old dwarf saying that we're simply crafted with different parameters. I think that's how we'll get through this. I think, yeah, with us taking the lead and the dwarves guiding us with their knowledge, our combined efforts should be able to get us out of here. Hopefully with everyone in tow.
I like that idea. Are y'all hearing this in the back? I turn to the dwarves.
The dwarves are like right next to you. Plus, it's kind of echoey in this cavern, so they can definitely hear you.
So.
But she says, we will have to have faith.
I think we should establish a proper marching order, given that there's still dangers around here. We don't want anyone vulnerable to be the head of the pack.
Is the bears still here?
Yeah, because the bear also lasts for an hour, so.
Okay.
And that was summoned way after my passed out trace was.
Yeah, but I'd say, I would
Though
say it still have some
my
time.
passed out trace is probably
It was
gone
a
by the
pretty
time I
fresh
finish
bear.
eating, though.
Yeah, it's a pretty fresh bear. It smells like clean. It smells like new bear.
Yeah.
Smells like new bear. Bear's not expired.
Mm-hmm.
As before, I'm content with taking the lead.
I'm content with riding the bear.
We should have some capable people on the forward and the vanguard, in case anything tries to sneak up behind us as well. Keep all these dwarves in the middle. Protect them.
Good point.
I like it. It's catchy. I can dance to it.
Though, hopefully, I don't randomly get a tentacle wrapped around me again.
Yeah. I almost feel
was-
like
Not pleasant.
if we did happen to go back into the same cavern, at least we've dealt damage to that one tentacle thing. I don't know if we'd be able to at least flee again.
Do
Do we have ropes?
We're carrying an injured dwarf, which is the main issue.
But we also have an uninjured bear.
The bear is,
I apologize that Kipper's being a
No, no, no.
complete
No, 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 no,
naysayer.
You're good.
no,
You're good.
no,
You're
no.
good.
Don't apologize for
Yeah, no,
role
do not
playing.
do not apologize.
RP.
You can see that the bear is a little bit injured, yes. But he's all right.
Bear can carry man that is better than he was.
That would be up to you how you decide to be. You can see that the dwarves are just kind of discussing the route that they would take, but eventually they just kind of turn because you guys are just talking, and they're kind of waiting for you.
Is there a specific direction where you feel would work best? You are the ones that traverse these mines the most. I mean, I know it's in turmoil, but
The
your guess is as good as ours.
one of the female dwarves says, "I." She points at the cavern that they were just about to head in. If we're correct, we should be finding another stairway in that direction that can take us to the upper levels. It might take a little bit of winding, maybe go through different passageways, but we're fairly certain that there's a stairway nearby.
Well, no way but up. All right. Is everyone full? Ready to get on their feet?
I'm ready to kick butt.
All right.
Would that have counted as a short rest or not long enough?
It was definitely not long enough,
Yeah.
or as a
I
short
feel
rest.
like it was a conversation.
Yeah, it would have
Yeah,
been like
that's why I
probably
was
like
asking.
15-20 minutes.
Mhm.
I was mainly
Yeah.
just asking because the dwarves ate and we spent some time talking. So
Listen,
But
these people
I'm-
just kind of scarfed down those rations. They did not just eat.
yeah, honestly.
Okay. So I
What,
think the
you
marching
ate?
order. Well, I guess I should say this in character.
Right.
So, Ambrose and I can take the front, along with whoever wants to navigate us through these caves. You all can stay in the middle, and then our friends Taurin, Kipper, and our new acquaintance Barry, we can take the rear.
Barry Allen.
Believe it or not, they are the fastest polar bear in Galveth here.
Oh yeah. The dwarves are like, sure, like, you know, it's all right. They accept, and yeah, they just kind of waiting for the marching order to start happening so they can just move along with you. And if you guys are headed out as well, the dwarves are just kind of in the middle, looking around. But you can see also that one of the female dwarves, every time that they pass by a lantern, she would light it up still, just to not keep that trail that they've been doing.
I will still be marking on my map, just as a note.
All right, give me another survival check then with advantage
Alright.
to see how well.
That's not the right
Ooh.
thing.
Oh, that's
I
not fucking
clicked
stealthy.
the wrong thing.
Damn, this man trying to be stealthy. Okay, again,
I rolled the same thing.
you are able to mark it as well. Probably not something that every person would understand, but you know what you're doing. It's one of those things that you're like,
The dwarves.
yeah, exactly. It's one of those things like, I don't know, like you're taking notes in like high school or something. It's like, oh, like people would not understand, but I do, you know? It's
The way
like,
it should be.
yeah, exactly. Stuff like that. You are able to start mapping out the section that you guys are walking through. Again, you go through this cavern into this is like a large, very large open like cavern, as you guys are like the illustration is kind of right for this one, by the way. Just so you guys have a little bit of a theater of the mind, you know, help. You pass through large, I guess, not structures. They're not structures. Large, like pylons of stone that have been dug through to make passage. And sometimes you go inside another part of the mountain and come out into this large chasm once again. As always, the dwarves are following, are lighting up the lanterns as they go behind. Until you reach what would seem to be the end of the chasm. And lucky for you guys, at the end of the chasm, you see a structure kind of like a mix between scaffolding and a proper like platform that is going up, which to the dwarves' surprise, they just kind of cheer as they see this. They are relieved to see this sort of structure as they are moving through. And they're like, one of the female dwarves, the ones that are like walking with, they go, it's over there. That's going to be a climb up, but It's going to take us closer. I think we're going to be out of here now.
Yeah. Slow and steady. We're not out yet. Danger's still lurking.
So you guys are starting to walk again through the land bridges in these chasms, when suddenly eerie silence kind of like makes everybody stop. Even the dwarves are like, they stop to look around, and what would seem to be a large flock of bats fly overhead. They don't really collide into you, but you can hear the flapping of the wings and the chirping of the bats flying overhead into deeper parts of this chasm. Some of them that you can't really see due to the darkness of it. There are some other areas that you can see lit up, but faintly, very faintly on the back of this incredibly large opening, this cavern that you guys are in. And once the bats fly again, the dwarves just kind of stay still. They're clearly a little bit scared, and they're on edge. That's the right thing. They're on edge and they're looking around, trying to wait and see if there is an ambush of sorts, or any sort of creature would pop out and try to hurt them. Grabbing onto their weapons and looking about. A few seconds pass of almost deafening silence, which is I love that sentence. And nothing happens, to the point where the dwarves just kind of are at ease for a moment, and they just kind of like pat themselves and be like, okay, yeah, we're almost out. Let's bear with it a little bit more, And then another earthquake happens. The earth rumbles once again under your feet. You feel it once more. It is a very, very large earthquake happening. The ceiling stalagmites are starting to break and fall into what's seeming to be like complete darkness below you guys on the platforms that you're in. The structures itself, like the pylons, are getting cracked and boulders are falling out of them. The dwarves are barely able to hold themselves on their feet. There you can see like they're like kind of shaking, but it's not themselves that they're shaking, it's the ground that is moving them. Some of them like drop to a knee, and the others help them up. They're like trying to continue walking. You can see that they're using resilience to keep walking to get to that exit, because that's the thing that they want to do the most. And I want all three of you, please, to give me either an acrobatics check, or what would be the other one? No, I guess it would be acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
No, let me check.
I hope this ends well for me.
Let me check real quick. Either acrobatic or athletics. Any of those would do.
Understood. Let's see.
Okay.
Hey, we're not dead. Well, Rexmoa is spectacular. He's like the
Ambrose.
triple backflip grandpa.
Ambrose? Did he die?
Sorry, I think my headset cut off for a second.
Oh, okay.
We're just doing acrobatics checks.
Yeah, either
Okay,
acrobatics
acrobatics. Thank you.
or
Okay.
athletics. You can do acrobatics or athletics. Yeah.
I will do athletics then. 11.
Okay. So Rexmoa, you put your leg, you get into a pose, like stand firm so you don't get pushed down by this large earthquake. You can see that, you know, having a wider stance would keep you more, I guess it would keep you up. Kipper, you are starting to get like tossed around a little bit. You can see the shaking of the earth is so unpredictable that you are sometimes stumbling forward, back, maybe to the side. But you bump into what would be one of the edges, one of these rock formations in the edge, and manage to keep yourself up on your feet. Ambrose, the shaking of the earth is a little bit too strong for you. And as the dwarves are continuing to walk, because I would say, Rexmoa, you are standing still so you don't fall, so the dwarves have gained a little bit of ground towards you. You can see that they're desperate to go. And as this is happening, you can see they're all stumbling and moving about. Ambrose, you reach out to try and like mention to, hey, stop, you know, don't go alone. But your balance is lost and you fall to your knees on the ground. You put your hands on the ground and you can feel the movement of everything. It's a very bad sensation. You can feel like the ground is completely moving on its own. What are you guys doing as this is happening?
I'm assuming waiting it out.
The dwarves are going forward, as I mentioned.
Oh, okay. Never
Are
mind.
they like trying to push past Ambrose and I?
Well, you guys kind of, you, Rexmoa, you kind of hold your position and are there, but the dwarves are just desperate. They just immediately keep walking. They kept walking. Some of them are stumbling, some of them are falling, but they all like push each other. As I said, they're showing incredible resilience and they're trying to push through.
Kipper's just gonna like, oh, okay, well, crap. Kipper's gonna like walk on all fours.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to fall down when you're that low to the ground.
Correct.
Yeah. I immediately look at everyone and try to identify if anyone is in danger of like falling into the so wait, is the chamber that we're in, is it a staircase with like exposed edges? Is like anyone in danger of like falling to their doom?
Right now you're going into like a land bridge that would connect you into the staircase at the end of this land bridge.
Yeah. Well, if the dwarves are doing okay and Kipper's doing fine, I'm gonna help keep Ambrose upright, since I would be beside him.
Exactly.
In the marching order anyways.
Exactly. You easy enough by helping Ambrose stay up. You can you lose a little bit of your balance, Rexmoa, and you can feel like the shaking is continuous. But you are able to pull Ambrose up, and now Ambrose, you're not on the ground anymore. But you can see that through the earthquake, you guys look up because you hear a lot of cracking and a lot of different sounds. You look behind you actually first and see how the structure, the pylons of stone that you guys were just coming in are starting to crack very badly, and the stalagmites are falling. One of these large stalagmites falls near the dwarves, hitting the land bridge. The dwarves just kind of, you know, fall down, but they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. They are not staying there anymore. However, as the stalagmite hits this land bridge, you can see it starts to crack, and it's cracking a lot and fast as the dwarves and yourselves are crossing through this bridge.
Oof. Okay, if the bridge is starting to collapse, then we just need to kind of book it.
Correct. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I agree. So, right. So, who would be in danger? The dwarves are ahead of us, and then it's me and Ambrose, and then it would be Kipper, Taurin, and the bear. How's the dwarf who was wearing a
He
what
is
was it, a splint
like
earlier?
a splint tourniquet. He was limping, but you can see like the man is also trying to push through even with the limp. He is holding them back a little, but he is pushing and pushing and pushing.
All right, I just loudly announce, everyone, we gotta move. And yeah, Ambrose is upright and Kipper's is upright.
Oh, Kipper is
And
on
I'm assuming-
all fours trying to walk.
Oh shit! All right, so
I
I'll.
can book it on all fours.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, you are part rabbit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'll just almost put Ambrose on my shoulder a bit and to help him balance, and I'll just help him get a running start to see if we can start getting off this bridge as fast as possible as well. And I guess we'll just take it one moment at a time.
All right. Let's see. Kipper, so you are running ahead with your well, you're gonna be a little bit faster if Ambrose and Rexmoa are kind of together, trying to get each other to safety. So I want to need another either athletics or acrobatics from all of you guys.
Okay.
All right, I will continue to roll.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I rolled exactly one more than normal.
That's good. All right.
Yeah, me.
Wow,
Hey,
everybody's
that's
amazing.
more.
Hey, that's good. That's good. Hey, so Kipper, you go past Ambrose and Rexmoa as they are, kind of shoulder to shoulder, just grabbing, holding on to each other and just kind of pushing through as you guys see how the ground continues to crack and pieces of this land bridge start to fall from the sides. The area is becoming a lot more smaller. The area that you guys have to walk through this land bridge is starting to become a lot smaller. Kipper, you are able to take the lead as you take a low stance to continue running and running and running. But you are feeling now as you are pushing down that the weight of your steps is starting to push the rocks down. This bridge is not going to last long. And also the dwarves, the same thing. As you guys spot up ahead, you can see that one of the dwarves actually presses down into a weak spot of these rocks that were starting to crack, and he falls down. It almost lets you guys gasp as you see the dwarves kind of hanging on for dear life, and the other dwarves are trying to pull them up. The area, this land bridge, continues to crack. You guys look up again and see more of the ceiling starting to cave in. What are you guys doing?
I don't suppose any magic people have a spell or a cantrip that can help in this situation.
I don't think I do. Hold on.
Let's see. Let me check Taurin real quick. See if she has anything that could help you guys.
Fantastic second
oof.
bear.
Unfortunately, not quite.
Cast Flying Bear.
Flying bear, yes. I'm gonna do a
I
little
don't
roll
think-
for Taurin in the
I don't think spirit guardians would help at all. Like, I couldn't just be like, "Oi, minions, hold them rocks together." Like, I'd have to use a lot of minions for that.
Correct. So what are you guys doing? How are you guys going to pass through?
I'm trying to think of. Yeah, I guess that's like the
Hold on,
disadvantage.
do we have rope?
Well, the thing is, this is happening like second by second.
Yeah, we don't really have time to actually do anything is the issue besides run.
No, I
Yeah.
know, but if we have rope, I can use rabbit hop, get to the other side.
Hmm.
I
And you're gonna
have,
like try to secure it on something?
I
I mean,
would
you should
hope.
have a rope. You probably have like an adventurer's pack or something.
I did, but I did cut a portion of my rope. Let's see, how long is it now?
It should be 50 feet. That's like the one that you get, but I don't remember how much you've cut.
I
honestly,
used a lot of it.
Hmm. Well, Ambrose and I both have
I
still have our
used
rope
up my
bundles.
yeah.
Okay, I think I still have mine. Then.
I do have I have a climber's kit, which I think actually has rope in it as well, but
Yeah. So yeah, I have a bundle of hempen rope.
Yeah, that's 50
Yeah.
feet of rope.
Or just to yell. No, you guys would have take time to rummage through your bag.
Hmm.
Dang nabbit.
I mean, it's not something that you will put on your bag if it's like 50
I have
feet of rope.
25. I have
Okay,
25.
how much of this bridge is left
I
for
would
the dwarves
say-
to have to cross?
I would say that about 30% of the bridge has fallen. You can see that the bridge there's a lot of cracks on the bridge, and from what you saw from the dwarves, one wrong step could be deadly.
Hmm.
Okay, so I have 25 feet of rope. I'm going to use rabbit hop to get to the other side.
Okay. Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm also, let's see. I'm also going to cast spiritual weapon again.
All right. And what are you doing with the rope and the spiritual weapon?
I'm going to, unless on the other side there is a stalagmite, I'm going to embed the weapon through the rope into the ground.
Okay.
With
I would say the weapon can float, so you don't really have to like embed it on the ground. It can just be floating there with the rope.
will it be powerful enough where it can hold the weight of everybody that's fallen?
Not everybody, but you might be able to hold a couple of people, maybe.
Then I'll just embed it into the ground.
All right, I want you, Kipper, to just give me a normal d20, please. No modifiers, no nothing.
Okay.
All right, Kipper.
pretty good.
You desperately think about what you're doing. You summon your not spectral, but like summon your scythe and look around trying to see what you can do. And the one thing that you think of is just embedding the scythe on the ground. You plunge the scythe into the rock, making a dent for the scythe to be inside. Luckily for you, you did not create more collapse of the bridge. So the scythe is embedded. You put the rope, and now you're going to jump. You're going to jump towards the dwarves.
Yes, if the rope is fastened to
Yeah.
a good place on the other side of the bridge, I'm gonna jump towards the dwarves, and I'm gonna assume that Ambrose and
Ambrose and
Rexmoa are
Rexmoa
gonna
are behind you. So you would be acting first at this moment.
okay, I'm gonna jump towards everybody, and like hopefully the length of the rope will be enough. Be like, hey, everybody, grab onto this as you're running, just in case.
Oh,
if the
okay.
bridge-
I think I understood it wrong. So you guys are behind the dwarves. Let me actually make a little drawing here. You guys are behind the dwarves. Let's say this is the dwarf group.
Yeah.
And you guys are gonna be like over here. Okay, and the bridge is art skills, and it's just like about to crack, you know.
And are we going to the left or to the right?
You guys are trying to follow the dwarves. This is exit.
Okay, so what I was using rabbit hop for was to basically jump ahead of the dwarves
Okay.
and then embed the rope over there.
Okay, so you want to embed the rope over there, and how are you gonna bring the rope back to the guys?
I have. Okay, let's see.
Because you would have to go like this, then drop the scythe, and then how are you gonna give the rope back?
I would just throw the other end of the rope.
Okay.
Just kind of like, yeah. I was like, I could use rabbit hop. I'm like, no, I could just throw the rope.
Yeah.
People throw ropes.
Yeah, easy enough. Okay, so Kipper, I'm gonna make a little drawing of you. You're gonna be right here. The bunny with the ears. There you go. You're right there. You are going to embed the scythe into. Lucky for you, it was a strong point of the of this land bridge, and you are able to embed the scythe and quickly make a knot in the rope, so you can toss the rope back to your companions. Ambrose and Rexmoa, as I said, you guys are shoulder to shoulder, just kind of grabbing each other, so you like don't fall and like don't. Basically, just nothing happened to you. What are you guys doing now? As you see Kipper just leap over, toss you, and toss one of the ends of the rope into a position near from you.
Okay. So, all right. Just want to make this a good color. So this is like the danger zone that the dwarves are in.
Yeah, exactly. This is a very large danger zone, by the way. It's not a small one, but you know.
And one of the dwarves is currently, they have like their foot stuck, but the other ones are fine.
No, he kind of fell through, but they're kind of helping him up. They're in like this process of like pulling him back up.
All right. I'm trying to consider how much of this I should talk as a player and how much I should just like do.
I feel like I just should have probably yelled, everyone grab onto the rope while you run. Or is that a dumb idea? Maybe people just grab onto the rope if they fall.
Well, I think it's like apparent enough. Maybe.
Yeah, like you would see Kipper like leap, then put down the rope and the scythe and just toss it over to you guys. That would be the good thing.
Okay.
So you guys are able to see that.
All right, Dishonor. I'm gonna ask you. Do you have any type of plan?
I mean,
because I have
honestly,
something in mind, but I don't know if it's necessarily a good idea. It's an idea.
Just about all I can really do with my equipment is just like hold on to my climber's kit and then just like use it to like if I fall to jump myself into the wall if I can make it.
Okay. Well, you know, for the drama, and maybe this situation can't get much worse. I'm gonna like position Ambrose in front of me along with the other dwarves, and I'm gonna use the last of my key to cast one last gust of wind to try to help everyone cross the bridge in time, or at least cross it to a safer zone.
Okay, yeah, that is cool. Let me draw a little pink dot over here. That will be you. Ambrose will be the other. And you're going to toss the wind, I'm assuming, in that direction, correct?
Yeah. So yeah, I want to push everyone towards the safe side.
All right, yeah. You, Ambrose, you would be put in front of you, and suddenly the gust of wind would start pushing you towards the part of the bridge that is the most unstable. Obviously giving you a little bit of a boost.
And my hope is that, it'll push all the dwarves off, which hopefully alleviates some of like the load bearing that this bridge has to do. So that way they'll quickly get on the other side, and then hopefully Ambrose can get on the other side, and then I can figure it out, because I'm a spry little lizard.
We will see about that. Ambrose, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I will go ahead and take it to my advantage, and I'll also try to like, if any of the dwarves are like slower than me at that point, I'll try to like help push them forward by like grabbing onto one of them and whatnot.
So how are you going through? Are you running through this area, the cracked area, or are you jumping? How are you going through this area?
Would I know if trying to jump it would create more tension than it can bear?
Mm-hmm. So you're just running through, using the wind as like a boost.
Yeah, if jumping is probably going to just create more wear and tear, it'd probably better just actually sprint.
Okay. So, Ambrose, as you are sprinting, I want you to give me either athletics or acrobatics again.
Athletics it is. It's a 12.
Okay. All right, Ambrose, you feel the wind start to push you. And you look back at Rexmoa and you see how he is conjuring this gust of wind. And he just gives you a nod of like, go. And you turn around and then start and use the wind to your advantage as you are starting to move through the obstacles. However, unfortunately, Ambrose, as you are running with the help of the wind and your own natural speed, you bump into one of the cracked rocks and your leg is now stuck.
Kipper's gonna see this and just yell, Ambrose, grab onto the rope. I feel like me and Rexmoa are just like doing everything possible to get every single person across.
The dwarves with the, by the way, the dwarves with the wind are able to pull themselves back up and get pushed a little bit further back, closer to what would be, you know, the exit. At this point, they're just trying to continue, and you see Rexmoa, how Taurin, that for all intents and purposes we'll say that was next to you, is going to use the same wind to her advantage to just run through. Let me roll something real quick. All right, let me roll another thing real quick. Ooh, okay. So you see the wind makes Taurin move fast. She can start to like almost elegantly go up these cracks. You can see some of the bits that are falling and she just kind of hops over them. She gets to about halfway as well as Ambrose with no issue on her part. However, she is close to Ambrose in case any help would be needed. However, the bear runs in, and unfortunately, as the bear is reaching their summoner, the weight of the bear causes a large chunk of this land bridge to fall, the bear falling with it. You hear the growling of the bear as it just falls into darkness, and a large portion of this land bridge is now gone. You probably have only half the land bridge left.
Okay, wait, I have a question. Wouldn't
Yes?
Taurin have just unsummoned the bear?
I mean, for all intents and purposes, she's not here, so we're gonna have to like play
So
it
you're gonna
out.
do the evil thing and kill her bear.
It's not gonna die. It's just gonna be unsummoned as soon as it takes damage.
Yeah, it's like a
Wow.
Pokemon. It just goes back to its Pokeball.
It's not gonna die.
It's
just
not
gonna
traumatic
Be,
for the bear.
it's
not
just gonna
traumatic
be
for the bear at
unsummoned.
all.
Exactly.
She's gonna come back and be like, ZJ traumatized your bear.
Correct. But yeah, I mean, that's what's happening right now. The bear falls, and Ambrose, as you feel the bear fall, you can feel the stones that are below you, the one that you use pressure because your leg is stuck on it, it starts to feel a lot more loose, and it's sliding down.
Is the rope that Kipper threw out in range?
Yeah, you would be able to grab it.
Okay, I'll shout to Rexmoa, "Oi, get going, I'll be fine." and I'll kind of like grab onto the rope and try to start using it to pull myself out of the hole that my leg is made.
All right, I want you to give me a strength check, please. A normal strength check. And before
Just strength, not athletics.
well, you can do athletics if you want to. I would say it's just a normal strength check. Okay. And yeah, okay. We're gonna go back to that in a second. Rexmoa, now that you are in this situation, you see how the dwarves are able to escape the almost death trap, that not a trap, but like deathly situation that they were in. You use your wind to escape. You notice how Taurin and Ambrose both used it to their advantage, one a little bit better than the other, and the bear just immediately plummeted and collapsed, making more of this land bridge fall down, and the stability of this thing is already in shambles. What are you doing?
I'm gonna like take a few steps back, get a running start.
Okay.
And I'm gonna like try to jump over as much of the fragile part as I can.
All right. Do you have anything that would boost your jumping distance by any chance?
I am all out of keek, so I cannot use Step of Wind, so I am just
Okay.
using my regular jump distance.
All right. I want you
And
to
my
give
speed's
me...
45, so.
Oh yeah. Okay. I want you to give me either an athletics or acrobatics check, and
All right.
and depending on the result, we'll go back to that.
One last check. Don't fail me now, dice.
Okay. All
Hail
right.
him.
All right. We'll get back to that. Kipper, what are you doing as you see after the bear has plummeted down and part of the bridge is going? You can see the cracks of the bridge are starting to spread towards where you are. Specifically, the weapon is now not stable enough. You can see that the weapon where you embedded it is starting to break a lot.
Okay, so I didn't embed it okay.
Well, you definitely put it in a safe spot, but the bear destroying half the bridge was definitely gonna
Why?
weaken it.
Why you gotta do that, CJ? Why
I
you
didn't
gotta
do
I mean,
nothing.
the bear's scared too.
I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
It was the bear, man.
You made the bear do that.
Nah, it ain't my summon.
Yeah. I mean, technically, you are acting as Taurin. How dare you? You
Hey.
traumatized that bear.
You
Take back
gotta-
that bear's trauma.
You
Cast
gotta,
untrauma that bear.
you gotta do something, my friend. Bridge is
Yeah,
collapsing.
Did my rope help anyone, or
you're-
am I just?
Ambrose grabbed the rope and is trying to pull himself in, but I need you to tell me what you guys are doing before I go over to the next set of actions that are gonna happen.
Okay,
So, I
I'm
need
just gonna start pulling on the rope as well, assuming it's going to help Ambrose because yeah, if Ambrose goes down, I'm going to be jumping down.
Okay, so I'm gonna need another, again, either a pure strength check or athletics for you, Kipper.
Okay, let's see.
And
don't
I
think
will roll
have-
something for Taurin. Okay.
I don't think I have anything in strength or athletics. Let's see. Where's strength? 0 strength. 0 athletics. Let's just
All right.
my wimpy. Okay. You know.
Okay.
I'm
So,
as strong as a rabbit.
you see how Taurin was able to get up on her feet and start walking again. She, unfortunately, Taurin is walking over towards you, Kipper, to try and help you get the rope. But a chunk of the land bridge collapses as she was trying to get there, and she falls. She is holding on to the upper part of her body, is holding on to the land bridge as her legs are dangling from it. And let's go with what happened to you guys. Ambrose, you managed to grab the rope and start pulling yourself out. Using the leverage from you pulling out and trying to lift up your leg, you are able to slowly loosen it up. The chunk of bridge that was below you falls down into the completely pitch black abyss that you see down there, and you are able to pull yourself up a little. With using your strength, another chunk falls, but you're able to just kind of like jump over it fast as you are using the rope to guide yourself towards Kipper. Rexmoa, you are athletic. You take a couple steps back. I'm assuming you stop the wind, or are you continuing with the wind?
Yeah, I'll be stopping it.
Okay.
I think it's run its course.
All right. So you are athletic, my friend. You simply cannot be stopped in situations like this. You take a step back and take a leap, going over some of the parts that the bear completely destroyed, and you're able to land safely. You would be in between Taurin and Ambrose. Kipper, with you now, you would be like, oh, sorry, I'm moving everything. My bad. You would be in between Taurin and Kipper. Taurin would be like, let me put a little green dot over here with Taurin. Oh shit, I changed your color to green. I did not know I could do that.
Oh,
that's fine. Taurin is now the pink
green.
one.
okay.
Taurin is now the
musical
pink one.
chairs.
Yes, sorry.
Okay. It's all good.
But yeah.
Oh my god, you're making me choose.
Exactly. You do see that Ambrose is pulling himself out of this hole and is using the rope. Kipper, you also put some resistance into your pulls to try and get Ambrose out. You notice how he loosened up his leg and immediately starts to climb. And you are able to help him pull. However, you look back at your scythe, and the scythe is loosening. It's losing the grip that it had. It will come off if you don't do anything.
I don't know what I can do. Can I, if I pushed it further in, it's not like the actual, is it the earth beneath it that's specifically
correct? Because
unstable?
you are in a large land bridge, and you can see how the more cracks it has, the area where the scythe is embedded is starting to like open more, and the scythe is no longer like held tightly. It's starting to get loose as you are pushing and pulling.
Like if I unembed the scythe, okay, well I guess no one's falling yet, so I could unembed it and then just pull the rope up further since we have run a good amount. Is that possible?
Can she try to use entangle on it? Hold the scythe in place? Yes, of course. You can totally use entangle on it. She shoots a little sphere of green energy, and suddenly from the ground on the area where the scythe is, a lot of vines and multiple plants start to curl itself into the scythe, trying to keep it steady for you, Kipper, to hold on to it. And now we're going back again.
This is teamwork.
And now you're going back again. Ambrose, what are you doing? As the bridge is collapsing around you, and you are barely able to hold yourself by the rope that the scythe is holding. And Kipper.
Teamwork.
I mean, really, one thing I could really do is just continue trying to move forward.
All right, just continue powering through. Nothing specifically.
I mean, like I said, I really only have a climber's kit, and that requires me to actually be next to something.
All right. Ambrose, athletics or acrobatics again? Rexmoa, you are able to leap over the broken bits, and you see around Taurin has slipped and is almost falling, and Ambrose so far is keeping his footing. What are you doing, my friend? We'll see about that in a bit.
Okay, well, I do feel like my instinct would be to help Taurin out, but I'm just trying to think about how, aside from like maybe like tossing her to safety.
You could.
Maybe. Yeah.
She is, as I said, her upper body is trying to climb up again into the land bridge, and her legs are dangling off of it.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just using
Yeah.
all of her strength to try and keep herself up. But obviously the shaking of the ground is not helping either, and the fact that the land bridge itself it's moving.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna act immediately. Rexmoa sees that Taurin is in danger and immediately goes to help her, and like he'll like grip Taurin by like almost like the collar of her shirt,
Okay.
and just like as
You
like
pull her up.
tries to firmly plant his feet into the ground as best as he
Alright.
can, and just tries to pull her up and like almost, if it's possible, like toss her behind him.
Okay.
like
we'll see that depending on the roll that you get.
Yeah.
This one is going to be a strength saving throw for you,
Oof.
Rexmoa. And while you do that, Kipper, what are you doing
Still
now
got
that
it in
you
'em.
see the vines embedded and coiled into the scythe, giving you a strong I guess it now became a strong post for the rope to be held.
I'm gonna keep pulling.
You're going to keep pulling, trying to help Ambrose out. All right.
Yeah.
Kipper, I want you to give me a perception check, please.
Okay. High
Ooh.
perception.
All right, let me roll something real quick for Taurin over here. Okay. And let me roll something for the dwarves. Oh, okay. That's pretty good. So, this is going to be a very long chain of events that is going to happen right now. First of all, you guys are able to spot that the dwarves have at least gathered their bearings and are back moving towards the end of this land bridge. They have avoided danger so far. They have hopped over whatever pieces of the bridge that are breaking down, and they're just like working as an unstoppable unit. You can see the pure dwarven strength in the way that these people are walking. Working. Like using their strength to toss each other over the missing bits of the land bridge, or like grabbing onto certain pieces to make it to hop across. It's very you can see that they are, even though they're in this situation, they're still very capable of doing things. And now let's go with you guys. Rexmoa, lucky for you, Taurin's roll was very high. So while you aren't able to toss her in front of you, with her own efforts and your strength, you are able to pull her up, and now she would be on foot right next to you, Rexmoa. Ambrose, as you're pulling yourself out, the strength that you're using to keep yourself up and steady makes the other side of the bridge crumble and collapse. Ambrose, you fall down and are being held only by the rope. You are dangling off of the now almost completely collapsed land bridge. You see down how the boulders are falling, and you see pitch black. There is no telling of the bottom of this chasm. Kipper, you, however, are able to keep pulling, and you see Ambrose fall down, which you yelp at the sight of your companion, but you can feel the tension on the rope, meaning that he's still holding on to that. So you are about to start to pull when something catches your attention. Kipper, you look back into the way that you guys came in, and you notice one of the large, and I mean very large, pylons of stone from the mountain is dropping into your location.
Like
This-
above us?
It is like a think about a huge stalagmite that just broke and is falling towards you.
Like the entire bridge, the size of the bridge.
Talking gigantic. This is one of the parts of the cave you came through. You look up, you're starting to pull back and you look up and see the gigantic rock formation starting to collapse and fall. Kipper, what are you doing?
Guys, you're gonna have to move a bit faster than that. I'm gonna be honest. If I'm not gonna like leave my friends to die, so Kipper's gonna keep on pulling.
Okay.
Kipper doesn't have anything else to do. He did like the scythe and the rope thing was the best he could think. Kipper's just gonna keep on pulling, hopefully helping Ambrose, and then once everybody is like up, we're all just gonna keep running.
All right, strength or athletics check, my friend.
Yep.
And while we're doing that, Rexmoa, what are you doing as you see Ambrose fall down and you can barely notice how he's still hanging on by the rope?
That's a strength save.
All right, so Taurin is like...
Taurin is up.
Okay, Taurin's up.
Yeah.
All right, I will spy what Kipper's doing, and I will immediately run over to him and help to reel in our rock man.
Okay. Again, strength or athletics. Same thing.
All right.
Taurin, I'm gonna
I'm a
roll
heavy
something.
boy. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna roll for something for Taurin. Ambrose, what about you, my friend? You are dangling off of a rope on a seemingly
better
almost
improvement.
endless fall.
Yeah.
So
9
how close-
plus 13.
How close am I to like the wall at this point?
Ambrose, there are no walls around you. This is
No,
a
actually,
land bridge. Can Chi cast a spell? Of course. Which one would you like to cast, Chi? Ooh, Tensor's floating disc. Very interesting. Okay.
Wow. That basically makes the whole bridge, like you just step on that and you just be like, who cares about bridge? This is so much better.
All right, you can cast the bridge, correct. 1 inch feet above the ground, can hold up to 500 pounds, blah, blah, blah. This is mobile where you are within 20 feet of it. Okay. How far are you going to cast it? Remember, you are in, well, you would be by Kipper. Right beneath Ambrose, okay? Yeah, I will allow it. Right beneath Ambrose. Ambrose, as you're holding on for dear life, you see below you a disc of magical energy is formed. What are you doing now?
Almost not believing it's there for a moment. I'll like still tightly hold on to the rope, but as I kind of like feel my foot like kind of connect with it, I will kind of like press down on it, like checking to see if it's like actually gonna carry my weight.
It's solid.
And when I do, I'll continue holding on to the rope, but I will like actually like put my weight on the disc instead. So I'm still gonna be holding onto the rope in case something happens.
And you're pretty much standing up on the bridge, but with the rope on your grasp. Okay.
And then,
it's only 3 feet. Yeah, but that's enough to just keep you standing up.
Yeah, that's more than enough. It does follow you around, right? So that means
yes, it does follow Chi around. That is the thing.
Yeah, I can't really stay here either, which is an issue.
Well, also you would be able to feel how the guys up above are trying to pull you up. So you will, like Chi is saying, it is a stepping stone. Pretty much like you will have a stable surface now to pull yourself back up.
Yeah, so using it, I'll kind of like get myself ready, and then using the rope, I'll kind of like try to like hop back onto the bridge entirely.
Okay.
And like pull myself up that way.
Alrighty, give me a strength or athletics check. I'm gonna roll something for Taurin real quick.
Oh my god, I cannot roll well.
Okay.
I have a +7 to these rolls, which means I've been rolling like below a 10
below 5, yeah.
several times.
Okay. And now I'm gonna do a little roll of something. Oh my lord, unlucky. Okay. So
Lucky us.
so Ambrose, you grab yourself onto the rope using the floating disc as your now stable stepping stone. You kind of boost yourself up a little bit and put your arm up above onto the collapsing land bridge as you're starting to climb up. Kipper and Rexmoa, you guys are holding onto the rope, trying to pull Ambrose up, and you can see after his arm is up and then his torso, and then he starts to keep going, you just put more effort and manage to keep Ambrose surfaced. The dwarves, which I need to roll for those, I forgot, sorry. Okay. The dwarves continue moving through this land bridge. They are determined into escaping this spot. Taurin, as well, is able to quickly maneuver around the falling pieces. The bridge is almost gone, by the way, at this point. It's quickly around to maneuver through all the pieces. However, there is a very loud crashing sound that makes all of you stop and turn around to look at the giant piece of the cave that was falling towards you. The piece of the cave has completely loosened off of one of the walls of the cave, and it landed right before the land bridge. You can see the whole wall of the cave seems to be coming towards you because of the giant stone that it is, that is falling. And as you guys stop seeing this giant piece of the wall come at you, and the way that it hit the bridge completely shatters and breaks. Guys,
No.
all of you fall.
Yeah. You want that to happen. I know you want that to happen. You made that bear happen.
Indeed. So, the bridge collapses entirely. You guys are not able to do anything against this. As I said, this is a gigantic part of the cave that just crushes this tiny, well, not tiny, but this land bridge and completely makes it fall down. You guys have but one moment to react and to see down onto the large abyss as you're plummeting down into pure darkness.
Are the dwarves okay though?
You don't know that. You just saw that they were continuing its movement.
But they didn't fall with us.
No, they did not, as far as you know.
Okay, then I will assume the best.
So, as you guys plummet down, you feel that sinking sensation in your stomach when you're falling. It takes a long time. You cannot understand how long or how far you've fallen until it is time to hit the bottom. But at the moment that you hit the bottom, it hurts. Holy shit, it hurts. You just splatted onto the ground, but you're alive. You look up after the large hit that you've just taken and see how the caves up above are being closed by the giant boulders and the mountain itself almost collapsing into each other. The very faint light that you had coming from above is completely snuffed as you are now in total darkness. You can't see anything. Even those with dark vision would have a little bit of a problem being able to spot anything around them. You hear the crashing of boulders. All of you stay immobile, thinking at some point one of these boulders is gonna fall on top of me. You hear the sound of small pebbles falling around. You hear dust just blowing. Your lungs fill with this dust. It burns. You cannot breathe properly. But once everything settles, you guys are all right. You take a second to realize what is happening, and you find yourselves, as I said, in a completely pitch black area. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna turn to Taurin.
You would not be able to see anybody, Kipper. Well,
I'm
you do
going
have
to-
dark vision, so you would be able to.
I do not have dark vision. I'm going to
okay.
turn in the direction Kipper would think Taurin is in, and just be like, Taurin, your bear is dumb.
Would I still have my fancy magic torch with me?
Yes, totally. I mean, you haven't lost any bit of gear as far as you can tell. But as you guys kind of sit up, gather your bearings, just kind of cough a little bit of the dust off, and the place is completely dark. Rexmoa, you pull out your torch where you remember you put it in your backpack, and you're about to mention the words when something catches your attention. There is a tiny glow happening in one of the walls. It's a very dim glow that is slowly increasing in power. Then you see another and another and another, and suddenly you look around into the caverns and notice a lot of things are happening around you. But the most important is you feel another soft rumble. This time it is not the earth itself, but your bodies rumble, and whispers slowly creep onto your ears from seemingly everywhere. And these whispers start to focus and start to make sense to you until you hear proper words spoken directly into your mind. You are a long way from home, little ones. The voice in your mind definitely is a surprise. But as the voice quiets down, that feeling of dread and anxiety that you felt as you were trying to rescue your companions dies off. And you are instead filled with a sense of warmth and safety. The pitch black darkness around you is lessening. And as you look up and around, you can see why.
Oh.
There are many crystals in the walls of what you can now tell is a gigantic cavern. You can't see an end to it. You can look as far as you can, but you only see the small dots of light emanating from the walls, almost as stars in an inky night sky. In fact, if you guys didn't know you were already underground, it looks exactly as the outside in a starry sky. The crystals now, once they're completely lit, they allow you to get enough light around you to see each other properly. You look at yourselves all covered in dust, pebbles, and small bits of rubble around your hair or fur in this case. You see the crystals are also around you, and you notice the white crystal, and when you start inspecting it, you can see it has a soft rainbow glow to it, opalescent if you will. These crystal formations are all around you, and you look at this cavern and start to wonder, where have you landed? Until another rumble and movement coming from behind the group makes you all look towards the source. And as you turn around, you are in awe at the sight. You see in all her glory a very large tortoise.
Ooh.
Gazing at you from where she lays. It's very hard to tell at first the scale, how large the tortoise is. The head is the only thing that you can see as it is protruding from this gigantic opening in the cavern. Very large yellow eyes opening slowly. And you can see from this that even one pupil would be larger than the tallest of you, just to give you a little bit of a scale of what you're looking at. And the beak, of course, is so large that she could probably swallow every single one of you without breaking a sweat. The sight is intimidating, but you don't feel scared. In fact, you feel loved and cherished. You feel a warmth that exudes from the eyes of this giant tortoise. It's a warmth that reminds you of a campfire on a cold winter's night, or the embrace of a beloved. Again, the same rumbling in your bodies happen. The whispers focused in your mind, and you hear, "My children, you have traveled for so long and have met with many trials and tribulations. Take this time as a reprieve, for nothing shall harm you in here. The words, the soft words of the giant tortoise are interrupted by her own self as you hear a groan coming from it. The ground beneath you starts to shake and rumble as you can see the tortoise shifting. And when you finally focus again on it, you can tell that the movement is due to the tortoise attempting to stand up. A large cloud of dust gets puffed into you as the tortoise settles back down, and the rumbling and shaking completely stop. The sight in front of you is something unbelievable. It's probably the largest creature you would ever see in your lives. There is a small moment of silence after the rumbling, and again, your head starts to feel this vibration once more, and words appear in your mind. You already know who I am, but it is only right to introduce myself. I am Vithius, Mother of Creation. It fills me with so much joy to see you here before me, striving to do what you believe is right. My beloved children, I am so proud of you, each and every one of you. While there is so much peril, witnessing the efforts carried out by 4 once strangers and now comrades is remarkable. And this vibration again leaves your head as the words fade out of your mind. What are you guys doing? Rexmoa, you do take a kneel.
Yeah, Rexmoa was definitely quick to recognize the great figure who, I suppose would be stands in front of him.
It's kind of laying down, but yes.
Yeah. So yeah, he takes a kneel and almost like puts his head to the ground in a combination of like reverence and prayer.
I will originally, as we first came down here and started to essentially come back to full consciousness and looking around and seeing the crystals, my hand would have instinctively went to my blade in case something down here was not safe. But the moment that warmth and the sight of the goddess of creation, my hand just kind of naturally falls limp, and I kind of just sit on my knees staring upward, almost in disbelief, as I witness something that is almost an origin for what Ambrose even is. And as I look up and take in the pure divinity that is Vithius, I'll say, though aloud, I am lowering my head. Thank you for saving us, but although it is selfish of me to ask, what of the dwarves? I don't care about my own life. If those dwarves are still in danger, I must stand. I cannot rest while I know they might be in danger.
You, Ambrose, feel there's a moment of quiet before you hear anything, but there is a feeling that you get as you look up at Vithius. You feel as if she was smiling at you. And again, the vibrations in your head commence as her eyes slowly move over each of you. I feel your pain and suffering, my children, as much as I feel my own. You feel another pause again in her words, and a small tension in the air, as if the ground was about to shake once more. But nothing happens, and the Titan continues once more. I know how hard this journey has been for each of you. Not just the journey to me, but the journey of life itself. Her eyes would move over to Rexmoa as the large tortoise titan is staring at you. You have lived a full life, my son, filled with joy and adventure, but also sorrow, regret, and sacrifice. There is a shift in her tone, a hopeful one at that. And yet, you continue forward, striving to find balance and enrich the life of those around you. Rexmoa, you also feel that Vithius is smiling at you, even though from her own expression is impossible. And she continues, I can see my brother has chosen well. You now see that her eyes focus on the next person, Taurin in this case, which is unfortunate. She's gonna have to miss that, but Vithius speaks again. your home. But matters both of your choosing and not led you down another path. I see that despite the twists and turns you have been forced to take, the heartbreak and betrayal, you are still strong and determined. I am so proud of you. The ground begins to shake and rumble again as Vithius attempts to stand. Rocks and dust will rain above you. You can hear the pebbles and other larger size rocks fall around you, but none of them hitting you. The voice continues again. My apologies. I do not wish to awaken, to stand up and shake the very foundations of these mountains. But the compulsion is very difficult to ignore. The vibrations on your mind stops for a moment. And then Vithius turns to look at you, Kipper. Her voice again resonating inside of your heads. My dear Kipper, my child, your whole life has been riddled with sadness and loss. Yet you never lose hope. My brave little one, I can see the way you love and cherish those you choose to keep close. Just as you had with the family you lost. My dear, know that these efforts will never be in vain as long as your heart remains true and steadfast. The words fade again from your minds, and finally, her eyes now rest on Ambrose. And there is a brief moment of quiet before she is heard once more. Ambrose, you feel a slight pressure as you are being gazed by the Titan right in front of you. Her head slightly tilts to one side, and the voice again appears. Your life has never been easy, has it, my son? An orphan from when memory first served you. And even after finding a guardian, there was never any ease for you. Yet you grew strong and brave. Despite it all, you looked out for those weaker than you, and you protected them time and time again. My dear Ambrose, you took punishment upon yourself to keep others safe. And as you all listen, you can feel this wave of emotion emanating from the Titan. Deep pain and sorrow come with her words. And as if it was an instinct, you know what true mother would want their child to feel any kind of suffering. That pain she spoke of, she felt it as well. Her eyes are still on you, Ambrose. And you hear the voice again in all of your heads. My child, you have learned so much since you left to travel the world with your mentor. Happiness, anger, sorrow, regret so deep that there seems to be no end in sight. The burdens of what you deem as failures. The memories that feed your regrets. You carry these upon your shoulders. But, my sweet child, there is an end. One that is within your grasp. But to reach it, you must first learn to let go of the past. You have learned to love, to show kindness and compassion. But to move forward, you must show that same love, same kindness and compassion to yourself. There is no need for you to carry such a burden on your shoulders. The words fade again, and all of you watch as the Titan opens her enormous beak. She lays there with her mouth open, and again, the vibrations on your head continue as the voice again starts to speak in your minds. My child, the way forward is not by longing for the past. Rather, to learn from it and then move forward. To live rightfully in the presence for a better future. Promise me this, my beloved son. Promise me that you will never lose the compassion and kindness you have nurtured within you. Promise me that you will always protect those who are downtrodden and in need. Promise me that you will forgo blaming yourself, that you will relinquish that which burdens you, and that you will love yourself and be kind to yourself. Vithia's words fade once again as she lays there looking at you, Ambrose.
I will, during the moments of which Vithia's had spoken to us and referred to us individually, my head was rather hung low, almost staring at my palms. After the small outburst I had, almost scared to look back up. And listening to what was told to us. Finally, when she stopped speaking, I raised my head, though in very obvious hesitation. And as I do finally lay eyes upon the Great Titan once more, I can't help but glance at the handle of the sword jutting from the sling and back. I don't understand what lengths you've gone for this. That you would save us from this form. I don't know if I even can let go of my past, but I will never forsake those in front of me. I will never let a soul in front of me be lost while I still stand. No matter what efforts it takes on my part, I will stand and put my sword and protect them. Never will my desire to stand with others be forgotten or misplaced. I am at least strong enough to promise that.
Ambrose, at your words, there is a short pause, and the words of Vithius again in all of your minds. You again feel the sensations emanating from her. She is happy. She feels proud. And she starts once again. Now, my child, trust in me and hand me your sword. She moves closer, stretching her neck a little so her open mouth is in front of you, Ambrose.
In almost immediate, bordering instinctual, Ambrose almost scampers backward as Vithius asks for his sword. I look up, and I am very obviously almost shaking. As I glance down at my hands, which twitch a bit uncontrollably, I grab the sword from my back and undo the sling and let it kind of fall into my hands. And as I kind of hold onto it, holding one side by the blade, and as I've done a couple times before, holding it far too tightly than one should, I start to lean forward to move the sword towards her, but I stop and even struggle to just stay on one knee. And a couple of tears start to form in my eyes as I stare at the blade that's in my hands and glance up at the rather large form of Vithius that I can barely even imagine. And kneeling there for several moments, I watch as a couple of my tears fall along the blade, slipping down it, and slightly reflecting myself as I stare into the blade, as I see my own features cast upon it. Master, I can do it. I promise you that I can move forward. It's what you always asked of me. And visibly shaking, I will move my blade towards Vithius. Almost slipping on myself, but still slowly inching the blade forward, before eventually it reaches her mouth.
So once you place the sword in her mouth, the sword's length is but a splinter of the size of Vithius. Perhaps even less than that. You see her jaw slowly lifting as she closes her beak, the sword disappearing inside her mouth. And she pulls back again in the position that she was before. She closes her eyes momentarily as another trembling begins. You see her shifting a little, but this one is short, as if Vithius forced herself to remain down. Her eyes shift again, this time looking at the small jar in Kipper's waist. And she speaks once more. Little one, your time will come soon, but you must be ready to play your part. The glow on Chi's jar flares for a moment and becomes as bright as a light before softening. She would bow in respect, and she will say, I will do as I must, Mother Vithius. Another pause happens, and then Vithius' gaze returns to look at all of you. And she speaks once more. I am sure you have many questions. So please, unburden your hearts. I will try to answer whatever you may wish to learn. And she returns to look at Ambrose. And she speaks again. Don't worry. My children are fine. I will guide them to the surface. And she looks to the group again, awaiting for any sort of question or comment.
Kipper's gonna just look to Ambrose. Kipper definitely feels like this is Ambrose's spotlight. He's gonna wipe some tears out of his eyes. I think this was definitely an emotional moment, but specifically for Ambrose.
I will look back up at Vithius and say, I know what I just said, what I just promised. But there is still a struggle that I must fix that has to do with my past. So I ask of you, is there anything I can do for my mentor besides ending it?
You can see how Vithius emotions kind of feel the same pain as you do, Ambrose. And there's another pause as her voice echoes in your minds again. She says, sometimes hard decisions must be taken. Sometimes we have to lose people. I think you already know the answer to your question.
I look down at my hands, still shaking and still feeling the missing blade in my hands, and say, I know. I've always known. But if there was even... no matter how minuscule it may have been, if there was something I could have grasped to fix things, to set them right, to undo the injustice done to that man, I would have taken it.
The voice again happen in your minds. And I know you would. But don't worry, my child. Do what needs to be done. And I will make sure to keep him safe.
I think Kipper's gonna let like some time pass for that one. And then maybe like a minute after, well, number one, Kipper's gonna like just put his hand on Ambrose. Just because that's a lot to take in. I don't think Ambrose is even gonna notice because that is a lot to take in. But Kipper does have a question. It's just regarding, let's see. Great Vithius. I don't mean to impose, but we were sent down here to find 6 dwarves, but we only found 5. Can you find within your celestial body the 6th? Are they still of this world?
There is another pause, and the voice echoes again in all of your minds. My child. He is happy now. He has returned to the earth. And now he walks happy in my endless fields.
Kipper's just gonna slump his head to that.
I guess Rexmoa will present his question. Oh, great matriarch Vithius, mother to us all. You feel the suffering of your children above. Tell me, is there anything you have done about it? Have you selected your chosen?
The question, Vithius takes a long moment of silence, and she closes her eyes for a second until they open once again. Her voice again echoes in your mind. She is, you can feel the warmth and comfort coming from her once again, but you feel something else. There is some certain urgency to her feeling. She looks at you, Rexmoa, and she says, "Yes, I have a chosen. I knew it was gonna be them since the moment I made them."
Can you tell us who?
Again, at your words, there's a silence, and she closes her eyes, her head retracting a little bit into what would be her shell. Hiding a tiny bit, but you can still see it. Well, it's kind of difficult not to see this gigantic entity in front of you. But there's this urgency that you guys feel to her. And she speaks once more. "My children, you're all doing so well. The path you have taken, it will only become all the more perilous. You must work together, my darlings, for that will bring you strength. And for that, you must learn to trust one another and be open with each other. Your goal is to save the world. But can you truly do this if you cannot trust and be vulnerable with each other? Remember, my children, bravery and strength does not come from hiding one's fears, but from accepting, acknowledging, and seeking aid from those who can help you. This is not a task for a single person, but all four of you. A single thread may be weak, but when joined with more, it becomes a strong, unbreakable rope. Learn to work together and trust one another, my children." Rexmoa, you can clearly tell that she did not answer your question, but the feeling of urgency is gone, and it's replaced with consolation. She looks at every single one of you, and she speaks once more. Do not despair, for your hearts are good. As long as you stay true to your cause and to each other, you will succeed. There is another rumbling as Vithius shifts again, but it is stopped shortly after. Quiet fills the room once more for quite a longer moment this time. However, once you thought she was going to just stop, the rumbling in your heads again happens. You all feel as if Vithius feels relieved and is smiling at every single one of you. Her head comes out of her shell and she extends it over closer to all of you. And she says, "Now, come close, my children. Place your hand upon me and close your eyes."
Yeah, Rexmoa will get up from his position of prayer, approach Vithius, and place a hand on her head. Or wherever he can reach, I suppose.
It's part of her head, it's a gigantic being.
Mm-hmm.
Kipper will follow suit.
Struggling a bit to stand, legs kind of shaking and seemingly weak. I will eventually kind of like put a hand on the ground and lift myself up. And again, there's that slight hesitation, but I move forward and slowly put my hand onto wherever I can upon Vithius.
All right. And as you lay your hands on Vithius and close your eyes, you feel a soft breeze engulfing you. There is a lingering scent of flowers and grass. You feel your bodies lighter. You feel a pressure has left your bodies. But you can also feel that you are no longer touching Vithius. And when your eyes open, you don't see darkness anymore. You find yourselves actually in a grassy clearing. You see the open sky, clear and full of fluffy clouds, and the evening sun, bright and warming. You guys can see right below you there is a unnaturally grown patch of grass in contrast to the more dry lands that you are right now. Giving a quick glance around, you can see you are outside of the lands of Galvathir. You can see the entrance to the kingdom once again, right in front of you. And you can understand that you have been moved outside of the cave.
Kipper's just going to look to his right and to his left, just at everybody, to see his whole group here and just be like, is this real? Is this more illusion? Are we actually out of the caves?
Rexmoa looks to the skies and breathes in deeply, and just, I guess, like feels the sun and the wind, and responds, "I think so."
She says, "It seems very real to me."
Kipper's gonna turn to Ambrose and like put a hand on his arm, just waiting to see if Ambrose reacts.
You can see that my hand has reached for where the hilt of my blade would normally rest. And kind of just grabbing at nothing almost over and over. And my gaze is cast straight downward into the grass. I jump a bit when I feel your hand, but I don't look over at you.
Kipper's going to, at least now that Ambrose knows that I'm there, I guess, like the initial jump is taken out, Kipper's just gonna go in for a hug and pretty much just say, I don't know if I've ever told you how brave you are, but you astound me every day.
As you wrap your arms around me, I kind of slip onto my knees, just kind of sitting in the grass. And I still don't raise my head or anything, but my hand kind of falls limp at my side instead of reaching for the blade. And I'll say, I am not brave. I am stupid and foolish, and all this time I've tried so hard, focused so much on the past, yearn for what's not there, what never will be there, desperately clutching my hand at nothing this entire time. Desperately.
Ambrose. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was about to say, at your words, all of you actually would feel the same breeze of wind that you felt moments ago. This time begins to pick up the wind surrounding the group. It is almost unnatural the way that the wind is circling around you. And with this wind, whispers are carried over. Unrelenting, continuous whispers. Rexmoa and Kipper, you only hear various whispers, many different words, but you cannot understand what they're saying. However, Ambrose, as you focus and look up at the mountain, you can hear what the whispers are saying properly. the familiar voice of Vithius in your head. Ambrose, do you vow to be compassionate and kind? Do you vow to stand up for those in need? Do you vow to protect those who are downtrodden? Do you vow to forgo the past and stand for the present and future?
Hearing the sudden voice in my head, there's a moment where I continue to try and say something, but my head, I suddenly raise my head and look to where I can only assume the voice is coming from as I stare into the mountains. And there's a moment where I just kind of stay there astonished, glancing a little bit at the rabbit folk hugging me, before looking at the mountain once more and saying aloud, I vow to always be kind and compassionate. Protect those in front of me. I vow to keep those safe that I can see. I vow to let the past go, and I vow to live in the present in order to find the future for those around me, and myself, and myself.
At your words, there is a small pause, but the whispers pick up again on your mind, and you hear, this time her voice softer, as if she was whispering herself. She says, "Then rise, my warrior." Once the words finish, you feel, everybody actually feels the ground begin to shake violently. You see it move up and down, side to side. The ground cracks and open, it splits open in front of you, leaving a large gash. And while you attempt to figure out what is happening, Ambrose, the glare of the sun blinds you momentarily, and you look up only to see something hurling down from the sky before landing right in front of you. The ground stops shaking and it pulls itself back together as if it was completely regenerated. And sticking out of the ground before you, Ambrose, stands your sword. Not the sword that you know usually. The sword has taken a different appearance. The hilt looks like it was carved with very beautiful marble. The blade looks sharper than you could have ever be able to get it sharpened. And on its hilt, there is a jade green stone now embedded in it. And once again, you hear the same whispers of Vithius. Rise, my warrior, paladin of Vithius. Stay true to your oath whispers dissipate, and everything becomes silent once more, as if nothing happens.
I sit there shocked for a moment or two, staring at the blade sitting in the ground, before I glance at Kipper, and before standing, I return the hug, tightly, before slowly letting go, and gently pushing him away to signal that I am okay now. And I will stand, wipe my eyes slightly, take a step forward, and grab the hilt of the blade. I will set things right. Things that should have been set right a long time ago. Before I can help others, I must help myself first. And I will pick up the sword entirely and hold it in my hands, blade in front of my face.
You feel the weight of the sword is suddenly much lighter than what you remember. And once the sword is in contact with you, you feel that same pride that Vithius felt by interacting with all of you. And with that, friends, we're gonna finish the session there.
Wait.
You all level up, by the way, and you, Ambrose, congratulations, you are now a paladin.
Hey. There's gonna be
Paladin Ambrose.
there's gonna be a little bit of emotion next episode and a little bit of sleuthing, because I'm gonna be honest, Vithius said some things that are making
Vithius said a lot of things.
making Kipper think, and especially one thing that Kipper's been a little bit thinking for a little while.
So,
Where it's just kind of like,
Man, Quartz is in for a hell of a recap.
oh my
If
lord.
I'm-
I am
Quartz,
going
you
I'm going
need
to
to
send
post
her
that
the video.
episode fast.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. It's unfortunate she had to miss it, but it's
That's
so
like
nice.
this is like a cornerstone episode to miss. I almost wish that we had like done
We're gonna do it.
filler.
I
So-
know.
I have 4 pages of notes for this
Jesus
episode.
Christ. All right. Well, before we go through that, let's say goodbye to the people watching the VODs. You
Bye,
have
VOD
yourself a good
squad.
one.
It's gonna be an
Bye,
exciting
bye,
one.
bye,
I
bye,
love
buds.
you. Ambrose almost made me cry.
And
I almost made myself cry, not gonna lie.